Hey y'all, it's producer Alex here in the editing bay. Just want to give you a heads up about content we talk about in this episode. Around 58 minutes in, we start talking about subjects of gun violence, given recent events and stuff in the news. The most upsetting parts, I would say, are the first 4 minutes of that section. So when you hit minute 58, maybe hit that 30-second jumper button about 8 or 9 times. That being said, the rest of the episode still kind of touches on stuff involving guns, so if that sort of thing upsets you, think about dipping out around then, and catch us next week. Until then, see you later. Hey guys.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Cloud.
Happy birthday, Cloud.
Boy.
Yeah, it's August 11th. It is Cloud's birthday. Although when you're listening to it, it sure isn't.
Definitely not.
You stupid idiots. This is the Every FNFF podcast.
You missed it.
You missed it. You didn't even know. Hey, we have a special guest today. But before that, the more important pieces of the podcast. I'm Curtis Ware.
I'm Carl Germ.
I'm Alex.
Okay, and now the guest. Slide that mic on over.
Oh, konnichiwa, bitches.
How's it going, man?
Hey, this is Corey Hannigan.
Yeah, our local train expert. Is our public transit expert.
And he is local because he lives in New York, but he's a train expert, so that's technically local to Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Local
right.
train nerd and weeb.
Yeah.
You're not that powerful of a weeb, though. Like,
Our fellow weeb.
if you can name 5 Japanese words to prove.
Oh, you like anime? Name every anime ever.
No.
What's your favorite train in anime?
Oh, shit.
How do you feel about Snowpiercer?
Oh, I love Snowpiercer.
All right. In true form, 30 seconds. Tell us about public transit. Go.
Public transit is directly responsible for the form of a city and like the infrastructure that people live within. It's like the most important thing in terms of deciding where people live, how they interact with their neighbors, who they meet, what jobs they can go to. I mean, like, making people own vehicles is like requiring people to go into debt slavery just so they can earn money. Oh, do I have to keep going?
You have 8 more seconds.
Trains are pretty cool. Selfie.
All right, whatever.
Selfie loves trains.
Selfie loves trains. We'll have you back for FF8 in the
Nice.
future.
Big train hours in that game.
Yeah. All right. So last time we finished with getting on the tram, going to the Gold Saucer, right?
Yeah.
So would anybody like to say anything about the tram? I would like to say something about the tram, but I'll let somebody else go first if they'd like.
You go right ahead.
Yo, what side of the tram are the propellers on?
The back.
Are they on the back?
I
No,
think
they're on the front.
Until you switch scenes, and then they're on the back.
Hell yeah.
Yo.
Damn.
Yeah,
I guess they could just switch. Is that you think that's what's going on? I don't really know.
I don't know.
They're taking a K turn going up there.
Yeah. But I noticed the propeller blades are on different sides of the tram.
Have you noticed it's not an aerial tram. It's like there's a rail.
Yeah, it's like a
train-
ski lift.
It's like a train gondola hybrid.
When we take
Yeah.
when we take the ski lift, we'll be able to see the area directly below the ski lift. More Simpsons. Sorry. Anyway, so we're going up to the Gold Saucer. Did we talk about the shape of it last time?
I think we did a little bit.
Oh, a little bit when we saw it in the distance.
Yeah,
That's right.
This
yeah.
is the weird structure that you can see in the distance. It almost looks like a bunch of mushrooms coming off of like thing.
Like it even has like roots on the bottom, like
Yeah.
leading up to like the what would you call it, like a bulb? Is that like the top of a mushroom?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like you see like the roots pattern, but it's all a man-made metal structure and
Yeah.
all painted gold. Like it's the Ritz,
Oh yeah.
the finery, the elegance.
Yeah, there's a really great FMV that plays when you transition to it, and then you hear in the distance the Gold Saucer music, which is really incredible.
Bangs. It's so good.
Anytime I go to Dave and Buster's or anything, I just want to put in headphones and
listen to
it.
that, right? Yeah.
It's also incredibly jarring to have this like rich pleasure palace like immediately after you pass through what is arguably the poorest area since the Sector 7 slums.
Yeah.
And like I don't remember in the CG the intro if you see if there's any like flying vehicles, but like I think it's implied that the people who like go to Gold Saucer like they do not take the fucking tram that you guys are riding from
I
like
wonder
Coral.
about that because like it would it would add an entire another like a whole nother. It would add another like layer. Yeah, to like a bunch of super wealthy people having to walk through this like.
Yeah. I don't
really
think that's
poor.
what happens at all.
You don't think so?
Well, because think about it, you had to like walk across a defunct railroad to get to like the place.
Yeah,
like, or
that's true.
is it a roller coaster?
And,
I'm not
well, we
really
do
sure.
know. We do know.
Well, you're the expert. You should know.
Well, hey, roller coasters are trains. Okay.
We got to get Luke on to talk about.
Yeah,
roller
right. Yeah.
coasters.
Shout out to Luke from Bit Brigade. So we won't get to it this episode, but the next episode, we do see that when we leave the gold saucer, we leave it from the base,
Yep.
right? So
Which is really weird, and that's
Well,
also
we have
not like a typical place that you will
Yeah.
leave the gold saucer from. But also later, I think, can't you take an airship into gold saucer? If I'm not,
That's what I was kind of implying. Like, I don't know if you actually go to it, but I think it's implied that they have like an airport, like a place that, you know, people who have airships come. Because, like, why would you have a theme park that's like in the sky if people aren't going to fly to it?
hold on. So I don't know this, but I was under the impression that like there are planes, but like one airship, right?
I always
Because
assumed the
if
Highland
there
was
were
just
more
huge.
than one airship,
they'd be all over. the
Rufus
place.
shouldn't have had such an issue getting from Junon to
With
this
the
continent.
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's definitely
Yeah.
more than one plane because you alluded to like later there's
Yeah.
a plane that you find,
Yeah.
and then there's the plane sitting in the harbor.
Which I
like
mean,
the-
you can land a plane. I guess you could
there
still.
there is
you
a
could
plane,
put a plane there.
later that you get getting a little ahead of things.
Right,
Spoiler, I
right.
guess, but you get a plane in this
Yeah,
game.
but I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that like because again there are planes. We've seen we've seen private planes in this game in Costa del Sol.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So like it sounds like it could possibly have.
I
an
mean,
airstrip.
regardless, like, they definitely crank it up to 11 when you get to this place.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yo, it is. Yeah, real capitalism hours. Like over here. Yeah.
So the tram pulls in, and like the station is like really really good. It's got this weird, like when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it kind of looks like Chansey from Pokemon.
I was like Kirby with fangs. but
Yeah, it looks like Kirby with fangs. There's like three little like Moogles sitting on top of its head,
Yeah.
and I think I know what it is. I think we're gonna bring it up later. I
Yeah,
think it's like the mascot of the gold saucer.
Yeah.
But there's like there's a little like fat chocobo mascot also jumping around.
Yeah.
It's like, welcome to Gold Saucer.
Yeah, and what you're saying is that like the entrance
Yeah.
where the tram pulls in, instead of it being just like a normal subway fixture or something like that, it's a giant mouth. It's the thing that you're
It's
talking
very
about, right?
cartoony.
Yeah.
It's very like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
theme parky.
You
like,
emerge from the gaping maw of capital.
Yeah. We're still waiting to do that in real life. But yeah,
You just
sorry.
vomited out into like a pleasure palace.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. There's a person in a fat chocobo costume bouncing around.
Jumping around, which is
Yeah.
great.
I can't remember. Like, I feel like he's not there every time that you like. Maybe
No,
I think
so
the
there
first
is-
time.
there is something that does happen with that. There's like a little house back by. There's also an area that has a save point, and there's like artificial clouds and stuff, and a little tiny. It's like hard to see, but there's like a little house back there.
Oh, I see
Okay.
it.
So I forget like and we'll talk about it more when we talk about like the actual like guts of Gold Saucer. But
Yeah.
there's a guy who every time like you can walk in and out of the screen a bunch of times, and there's a guy who will appear there, and he will sell you GP with
yeah,
gil.
Get
that's
the
what
fuck
that
out,
is.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like
Huh.
that's if you're
it's definitely like not approved by the Gold Saucer.
Yeah,
no,
right,
they
right.
like say straight up that you can't do that. I think at one point, but
Like, it's just implied this guy is just hawking, like,
Yeah,
he's like
yeah,
scalping, like,
And
Gold Saucer points.
he's just like hitting the hoops like fucking crazy. Finally, I couldn't make it into the NBA, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my fucking money with my free throw.
You can't go back there to that house or anything though, right?
No, you go back there and there's nothing. But
Okay, that's what I
think,
thought, yeah.
There is an NPC, like a hidden NPC
Okay,
there that
alright.
appears every like. There's a
Yeah.
percentage chance of him to be
Yeah.
on that screen.
And that save point back there, you have
Oh,
to
it's
pay
great.
GP for. You can't even save your game right here unless
Yeah.
you have GP. Which when you get here, you don't have any.
Yeah, you can't get
Yeah.
any until you go inside.
Yeah. Which at the very first time I played this, I was like, well, I'm gonna save just in case I want to go play another game or something.
Yep.
And so I started playing the basketball game, and I was just like, I'm not consistent enough at this, and it's costing me enough money that like, F it, I'll just play this whole thing in one
Wow.
go.
Yeah, I usually just like get here, and if I don't have enough money to buy the ticket or like don't have any GP and don't feel like getting any, I'll just like back out, like go back down to Coral, and then go outside in the world map, save there, and then
That's what that's what I did before this
because
episode.
it's like a
so-
two screen. It's like a 2 screen distance from the world map.
Right. So there's an attendant outside, and she tells you that it's $3,000.
Yeah, 3,000
gil.
gil.
Yeah, this is not a place for the poor.
No,
Yeah, I like that they say like, "Are you together? A single pass is 3,000," and I was like, well, there's like 6 of us,
Yeah,
so that would.
there's
But like, apparently, a group counts as one person. Apparently, corporations are people in this.
Yeah. Well,
Dude,
yeah,
wait. So is Avalanche a corporation?
yeah.
no, they're an LLC.
Oh no, they're very liable.
Yeah, they're a nonprofit.
yeah. So the 3,000 for the single pass, a lifetime pass for 30,000,
Which isn't a bad deal, because this is
no.
like,
I
this-
figure the next time we come here, I usually get it.
Oh yeah, like it's pretty much like if you went to Disney World and they were like, okay, a pass is like a one-time pass that once you leave this place, it becomes invalid and it expires.
Yeah.
you can spend $300 on that, or you can get this for 3,000.
Right. Yeah.
Or like I guess it would make more sense to say, well, I don't know,
yeah, I don't know, but
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When I replayed this game, I actually used this as my sort of like grind gate, where I said like, oh, I'll just grind until I have enough gold to buy the lifetime pass.
Yeah.
Because outside of North Coral, like the mobs there, they actually give you a surprising amount of XP,
Yeah.
and you can rest because it's a cheap shanty town.
Yep.
You could just
Yeah.
gentrify North Coral by sleeping in their hotel for dirt cheap.
A Hoover town.
Well, you know, like throughout this game, I feel like it's pretty generous with money and experience. Like,
Yeah.
they don't really. This isn't a very grindy game. Like they really just kind of throw it at you.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
if you want to grind, though, you fucking
You
rake it
absolutely
in.
can.
Well, because when I was a kid, I didn't pay attention to like a lot of that deep stats and stuff.
Yeah, I mean.
So
yeah.
when I finally got to the end of the game, I was just like not leveled enough to like proceed.
Yeah,
So I was like, I'm never letting that happen again.
low
Yeah.
percent.
So we after we go through the entrance into like the main hub, I guess. So like we were saying, Golden Saucer is it's kind of like there's like a trunk in the middle, right, and a bunch of like mushrooms kind of growing
Yeah.
off of it. So we're in what I assume is the trunk here.
Is it a tree or a mushroom?
It
So interesting. You can actually go up to like, we're getting a little ahead here and probably confusing everyone who's never played this game.
Yeah.
But like there is an info thing that's kind of like a mall map thing where it says like you are here, and it actually shows on there that you are at like the top of it.
yeah.
So you're at like this base that's like a circular room. There's a great like mural, like cartoon mural on the ground that's got a Moogle, a
Yeah.
fat chocobo,
And
that,
the mascot.
That fat mascot.
By the way, what a pleasant space to be in. It's very round and there's lots
Yeah.
of like rainbow colors and like personal like pneumatic transportation tubes.
Yeah.
jump into.
So the I don't even want to use the word doors, but yeah, like the way you transition.
entranceways,
Yeah, the
yeah.
entranceway to each area is like a tube, right?
like a
And so,
water slide.
There's
Real
like this
transit
big
hours.
hole in the wall, and like the walls are like angled. They're very gently angled, right? So like a disc almost. You know,
It's like you're in an adult sized like Chuck E. Cheese playpen kind of thing.
that's
Everything is
that's the
connected
feeling I
by,
get
like,
from this whole
tubes.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, very infantilizing, very capitalist.
All the tubes have like a great like rainbow like color around them.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
very inviting and very
Yeah.
wholesome. And there's a lot of squares, and if you look at the thing, like it kind of explains them all. I don't think we're gonna go too into depth with.
Yeah, I don't want to do each area yet
Yeah.
because not everything is open right now.
Yeah.
And so I figure when we come back later, when everything's open, that's when we'll go through each of the
Yeah,
the
and
areas.
I have notes here too about like what some of the squares have like now versus which is
Right,
different later,
yeah.
because it's basically you go to a square and it's like it's obviously gating you
and
saying,
a
like, oh, no,
square, just for the listener too, is like each area that you're able to go to from this hub.
yeah, you jump through a
Right.
circle to get to it.
Yeah, so it
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but instead of like
No, the circles move you, Carl. Okay, the
But
squares are where you go.
instead of, like,
It's
these-
very simple.
instead of these areas, these tubes taking you to like hallways or whatever, like each area is called a square, right?
Yeah.
And so like I'll figure I'll just like read off the squares
Yeah.
real quick or whatever. So there's and each one has different things you can do in it, right? Like they're each their own
They're
individual
own
attraction.
attractions, yeah.
So there's the Chocobo Square, it's Chocobo Racing, the Wonder Square, which is mini games, Battle Square, which is like a fighting mini game, the Ghost Square.
I love that one.
Yeah, Ghost Square, which is the inn and the store.
Yeah.
Like the gift shop is just a haunted house. So like, get over it. Yeah, that's
You
where
can-
it is.
And you can actually see that one when you're in the in the tram in the FMV.
really?
Like you see it in the distance. There's
yeah,
just this-
yeah, it's this ghost on it. Yeah,
There's a great neon sign that says ghost, but there's also in the distance you can see a spooky like haunted house mansion sort of thing.
that's awesome.
which is one of my favorite areas in the game.
And then there's a Round Square, which is a Ferris wheel. Speed Square, which
Round
is a
Square is
roller
really
coaster.
confusing.
And I think Event Square is the last one. Is that right?
Yeah.
Which is like a place where they put on stage productions.
It's like an auditorium. Yeah. It's like
right.
where they have the things in like Disneyland or Disney
Yeah.
World where they have like the princess show or whatever.
Yeah. And most of them, not all of them, but the majority of them also have their own entrances and exits to each of the other ones. But like Event Square doesn't, right? Like if you come back from Event Square, it just puts you back in the hub.
Yeah, one of them is like a one-way thing, and then you got to jump back. But I was surprised. I thought that most of them were like that, and then I was like writing down in my notes. I was like, oh, this is also a hub. Oh, this is also a hub. I'm like, wait, they're pretty.
Most of them are
most
hubs,
of them
yeah.
are hubs. Yeah.
And they don't all have the tubes or whatever. Some
Incredibly
of them just have, like,
well-planned
doors, but-
transit, incredibly good wayfinding. Like, look at that signage. You know exactly where you're going.
It does look fun as shit, though.
You know what? It really did work out that we have you on this episode. I was like, man, I hope there's not enough trains on this episode to hold Corey over.
Trains and transportation are in just like part of the lifeblood of this game. You literally ride a train into the first scene in the game.
Yeah, the first FMV has the train rocketing through.
Well, that's what I was like. I was like, oh, I don't think we do any like train transportation. I wish we had an episode of that to have Corey on, but we're finding a way.
Oh, I always find a way to talk about trains.
We're gonna have Corey on at the part where you do the train mini game in FF8, where you gotta like
Yeah.
sneak
Oh
on
my god, we
with the
totally
sensors and
should.
shit.
Yes. He'd be like, this is incredibly inefficient the way that. Yeah. So we walk in. The party kind of splits out again where we see everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Barrett's like still kind of reeling from telling us that.
Opening up his heart and being like, yeah, my entire family and all of my friends were fucking killed by the Shinra. And This is
Yeah.
why I am the way I am. And
Yeah.
I lost my wife, who I am naming for the first time in front of you all.
Right,
I'm
right.
feeling really vulnerable right now. And Aerith is like, hey, let's play some games.
I know. She's wow. Let's have fun.
Yeah, they literally pass through his hometown. Which, first of all, passing through anyone's hometown is like kind of a trip, right?
Yeah.
Passing through hometowns in Final Fantasy
I wouldn't
VII
know. I don't have
Oh,
one.
man.
we've established is traumatic.
Every
Like,
time,
The only
every
other character's
time.
hometown we've gone to.
Oh, let me think about
burned to the ground
I
and
was gonna say,
everyone died.
let me think about that real quick. I'm pretty sure 100% of them are traumatic experiences. Well,
Pretty sure.
Sid? No, yeah, he got
Yeah,
some fucked up-
absolutely,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, okay, everybody.
Like
everybody,
literally everyone in this game, everyone's hometown is like super fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
Real bad memories.
Yeah.
Spoilers, there's a character in this Final Fantasy game named Sid.
I know it's the only one. It's the only time he
Only
appears.
time there's a Sid in a Final Fantasy game.
I will say I don't know if Yuffie's hometown is necessarily traumatic. Like there's bad stuff, there's bad history.
Yeah.
It's not like a stressful thing for her though necessarily. But
It
whatever.
seems like it's really stressful on the people, or on some of the people who live
Yeah.
there, the older generation.
But-
It's,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
we'll get there
definitely
when we get there.
it's like, I guess, amongst the most untouched by the Shinra, but also there was that
Well,
war.
the thing is, it is the way it is because of the Shinra.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah.
for
Basically,
when we get there.
The point I'm trying to get at is like
Everything
Barrett
sucks.
just like got this crazy just roller coaster of emotions as he's like going over all of the trauma he's dealt with, which like obviously we hear more about it in the next few scenes, but like then they go to like Disney World.
Yeah, they immediately go to Disney
And
World.
like Eris is literally like, "Hey Barrett, cheer up."
Yeah. Yeah,
I
It's
know.
like, dude, fuck you. What is
I know.
wrong with you?
Dude, she really gives it to him. Like
She's kind of
when-
treating him like a toddler, I feel like. I
Yeah,
feel like,
she says, "Hey, cheer up," and he's like, "I'm not in a cheery mood. Leave me alone." And I love that, this is like I feel like to me this is Eris's weakest moment, but I get what
Yeah.
she's like trying to do.
Yeah.
like
Of
I
course.
get the intention in it.
she
but,
has good intent, yeah.
Yeah, but like as soon as Barrett like shows that he does not want to play around, he's still in the shit zone or whatever.
Yeah.
She immediately goes over to Cloud and is like, "All right, Cloud, let's go have fun. Let's go play games." Barrett doesn't want to play games.
Yeah, like I
and
said-
Tifa's like, "Yo,
This is cold.
Don't you think that was kind of fucked up?" And she's like, "Nah, don't worry about it. When stuff like this happens, you gotta just
act normal
Just
with
act
it.
normal."
Which,
I think
like-
it's important. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I think it's important to contextualize also that like Eris's upbringing was really weird and like she was literally being hunted by like body snatchers for a like corporate zaibatsu her whole life.
Right,
So
yeah,
and
yeah.
she's lived like in a nice house but like stuck trapped in this like environment. So
Yeah.
I think one her social like her like her social knowledge is probably not all that strong, which is part of the reason that she's cool because she's acts so unorthodox at things and
Yeah.
things don't phase her.
Yeah.
But I think this is when it can cut the other way. When she's like, "Well, this is a theme park. Like it's so cool. I want to go
Yeah, you might be
explore
right
it."
about
You
that.
know,
That
like
makes a lot of sense. Like, yeah, I feel like when people when people in real life, right, like they don't I guess like
know how to hang.
no. Well, yeah, they're not. They're not like.
Eris
No,
can't
I'm
hang.
just kidding.
Well, when they're
Eris
not
can't hang.
conscious of somebody else's like emotions or whatever, they
Yeah.
can come off as very crass and kind of uncaring or whatever, or just ignorant, willfully, right?
Yeah.
And like in this case, yeah, Eris is kind of like has a bit of an excuse of like, well, she's not like a pampered fucking,
Yeah.
like well-to-do,
Like she's had her own share of shit.
exactly, yeah. So like there may be some like excuse there for her being kind of just trying to blow him off.
I kind of read, and I don't think this is necessarily it at all, but like when I was playing through it, I kind of read it as like Barrett, she almost treating him like a toddler that's having like a temper tantrum. Like if you brought a kid to an amusement park, he's like, no, just leave me alone. I don't want to have fun. They'd be like, as a parent, you'd be like, okay, well, we're going to go have fun and go on the Ferris wheel. So,
Right,
like,
yeah.
And, like that's how I read it, but I think it makes way more sense what you guys are saying.
Well, plus from just like a plot perspective, like this is a moment for you as the player to like go have fun. So they need to have like a narrative reason for you
fair.
to not be dwelling on what you just like
Yeah,
dealt
that's
with.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So I do like the line though where she just says to Barrett, she goes, "Well, we're gonna go play," and he goes, "Well, so play."
Yeah.
Mess around.
Mess around all you want.
Yeah, I know.
And then he says, don't forget we're after Sephiroth.
And then so good, he like just lumbers over to one of these tubes and just like does a big hop in the air with his arms up in the air and just flies down in one of the tubes. He goes to the Wonder Square,
Yep.
like where all the
Yeah.
mini games are.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just like, I'm gonna go fucking play on the submarine game.
I was so excited to see him like doing the motorcycle game or something.
Yeah.
It's like I could have been doing this shit, but I had to drive.
I had to drive the
Or I had to
truck.
be in the back of the truck.
Oh yeah, no, he was in the back. That's right. Tifa drove the truck. You're right.
Yeah. So then Aerith is like, "Oh, I think
he's mad."
And then Tifa kind of chimes in. She's like, "He'll be fine. He just he seems to be doing a little better now." So like Aerith's plan might have actually worked a little bit too, because
Right.
Also worth noting that it's pretty clear Barrett's main objective now is Sephiroth and not Shinra anymore.
yeah, he's just
Right.
down to save that planet.
Like now, he's
Which
the one
like an
reminding everyone
episode or
else.
two ago, when we talked to Barrett, he was like, "Oh, was that guy?"
Yeah.
Like after we fought Sephiroth, and we're like, "Barrett,
Come on,
his
man.
name is Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah." So
I think we'll get into it a little bit. I'll talk about it when we get to the point, but I'm sure Cloud's memories of what happened in Nibelheim kind of make him be like, oh no, fucking, we got to take down Sephiroth.
yeah, probably so. Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody's on board. It's just like
Yeah.
little moments of like.
I just mean I think it
hilarity.
hits close to home, which we'll find as well.
Yeah, fair enough. So at this point, we kind of get an option to hang out with different people while we're walking through the Golden Saucer. We can only hang out with one, right?
Yeah.
So I like that all the characters, when you talk to them, are just like, "Oh, you want to go hang out with me?" And I was just like,
Oh, you're approaching me?
I can't beat the shit out of you without getting closer. Yeah. Anyway,
That'll be the only JoJo reference, right?
yeah.
In this
hold on,
episode.
wait. Over there, I have two bandanas, one of Star Platinum and one of the World or whatever, with their patterns on it from JoJo.
Sick.
So who did you go on the?
In my
Golden
notes
Saucer,
here,
right?
I have it, and I said I took Tifa along with me.
Me too this time.
Oh fuck! Because no, you didn't let me finish. I
Okay,
said
sorry.
I took Tifa along with me because I knew Curtis would take Aerith.
Well, I did last time.
Okay.
So the first time, because I say this every episode, but I've recently played all the way through it to kind of get a better bearing on where episodes can end and begin. And I did take Eris that time, but this time I took Tifa or whatever. So yeah.
I mean, it's also like, if you consider Tifa and Cloud's backstory, it's like probably the most canonly appropriate one for him to do.
I would
I
think
wonder-
that it would be Aerith.
Eris or Tifa?
Well, I just mean because
I
I
agree.
can't remember. I haven't actually played the session for the because obviously I wasn't
Yeah.
sure. I was
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
didn't
on.
know he was gonna be on.
But like, I'm pretty sure like don't Tifa and Cloud reference that they have this promise that like, oh, like I'll take you out or something.
Well, no. Okay,
No.
so Eris and Cloud have agreed to go on
Oh,
a date.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tifa and Cloud have a promise of like, if you one day become famous, you have to come back and save me from something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Tifa once she says, "I want to know what that's like at least once in my life."
we need to bind a soundbite of just the piano, the promised piano.
Yeah. I can see Alex typing furiously as soon as we say that. So I took Tifa.
Same.
And so I went to, some of the different areas with like the event square. I was like, what? And like some people tell you to get lost because it seems like it's like a lot of like couples are there or whatever. And every
Yeah,
time you
there's-
try to talk to them, they're
there's-
just like, buzz off, asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And like, what is? Let's see. Something happens at where do we see Dio at? I'm gonna get it. I found Kate Sith first.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing.
Okay,
I'm
well,
like,
let's talk about that scene then.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, because that's kind of like the critical path that you need to go on to progress the story.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
like you can go to any of these things, but it's all mostly just like, oh yeah, you got to come back later.
You need to do one or two things to get something to happen.
But I think we should talk about the Dio thing if you want.
First or Kate Sith first?
I think probably first, because if you
Okay.
if you go through and do the Kate Sith thing, or no, I guess you can go back and talk to him. But I went to the Kate Sith part first, and then like went
me
through
too.
everything and like accidentally triggered everything without realizing it.
That's kind of how I
And then
did
I
it.
went back later after like completing this like session and
Okay.
went through all the squares to see if I missed anything.
Okay.
But the Dio thing is really important.
All right, so Dio is... Where the hell is Dio? What is this place? Is this the...
He's in the Speed Square.
Speed Square.
Yeah,
All right.
and he's like
And there's somebody who looks exactly like Johnny in the Speed Square.
yeah.
I was
thought-
like, oh, it's Johnny, but they don't give him
oh,
a
it's my
name or
old
anything.
friend Johnny. No, he just like doesn't say anything either.
Yeah.
It's just like the same model. Or
Yeah,
But-
I was like, it either is Johnny and he's 100% done with us now to the point that he doesn't even acknowledge us,
Yeah.
or it's just a different person with the same model. Yeah,
especially if you're there with Tifa.
right. Yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
real
You would
spicy.
think that he would say something, right?
But yeah, there's this real big beefy dude.
Yo, this big beefy dude walking around in a fucking like thong,
Like a Speedo.
like Speedo, yeah.
Like he looks like he would be right at home in
Costa del Sol, yeah. But he's
just, like,
walking around an amusement
in
park.
a child, like
which-
children are running around, and you're like, how is this dude allowed to?
Do you think I could get away with it at Disneyland?
Only one way to find
Yeah,
out.
yeah. We're gonna start our every FNFF YouTube channel. I just have like Sephiroth Speedo on, man. Like pattern FF7 pattern.
But yeah, so he like reveals himself as Dio.
Well, I was talking about the way he introduces himself.
Yeah.
Where we walk by and he just says, "Hey, boy,"
Oh yeah. And his
and
name,
Cloud just goes, "Boy,
and his name comes up before it says
Yeah.
Dio is just
man."
man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and pull up the screenshots that I have because that was at the end of my.
Okay. Yeah. I scrolled ahead and
Okay,
found
cool.
him.
Yeah,
And he says, "How is it? You having fun?" And I love that Cloud's just like, "My name's Cloud. Stop calling me boy."
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
doesn't even answer him. It's so good. And like without asking, because like it's like a miniature plot point that like Cloud is not asking him questions or talking.
Yeah,
to him.
he's just talking at
And
him.
Dio just goes, "Who, me? I'm the owner of the gold saucer. The name's
like-
Dio."
He like turns around and lifts his hands up, and he's like
Yeah, all of this is mine. I'm the owner of the gold saucer.
I literally can't tell if this was intentional, that he just brings actual like Dio energy to
Yeah,
the character.
I know, I
Like,
know.
He's,
It's so
he's
grandiose.
all but saying like Kono Dio da, like
Kono Dio da!
he's just like you're like, oh, you don't know who I am.
Yeah, I know. That's so good. Oh man, it looked like you were getting ready to say
Just
something. Carl.
Probably.
incredibly proud of his own muscles and form.
I know, dude. It's so good.
Witness the beauty.
I know, yeah. What is it that like Abdul says about him? He's like, "You'll never see anybody as beautiful as Dio." Like when
Yeah, like you see him in panic.
you see him in panic,
Dive out of a window.
but you also fall in love with him. And so like that's also Dio in this game.
hell yeah. So yeah, he says, "Just call me Dio," and Cloud like reflects on that. He's like, he's not even listening.
Right, he's not even listening.
Can't even get a word in edgewise.
And then is this the first time? I think it's
Yes.
the first time. Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
So a major plot point.
Mm-hmm.
Dio says, "By the way, boy," again, like not
just-
listening to Cloud. Like Cloud's not asked him who he was or what he does or anything. He's just giving it all away and doesn't even refer to him as Cloud now. But he says, "By the way, boy, do you know what a black materia is?" Oh my god, it's black
Yep.
materia.
And he says, and then for some reason he talks like Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, he does.
says,
That's a good one, boy.
Yeah, he's like, haha, that I say, that's a good one, boy.
Yeah, he does say that.
like, what the
That's literally the text. Yeah. He goes, "But it's not good to lie. You can't fool me." 'Cause I said I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I did the same thing. But I mean, I guess the American version of Dio is just Foghorn Leghorn.
I guess
If
so,
you
yeah.
Think about it.
Are you saying that JoJo's Dio is Foghorn Leghorn? Does it extend that far?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Corey's just not having it. He's just looking at the ground, shaking his head.
Tex Avery. Tex
We're gonna
Avery
do like
invented JoJo.
We're gonna redub JoJo. Fucking Foghorn Leghorns. Oh, I say you're
Well,
approaching me.
I was imagining it in so many different ways, and all of them distressed me.
I don't know why I keep bringing up like Hanna-Barbera era cartoons and making it a fucking joke.
Just like he has the perfect body, and it pans over, and it's literally just the Foghorn Leghorn model.
Yeah.
From the fucking world, like Looney Tunes.
JoJo is the
Foghorn
sheepdog.
Leghorn, but in the pose where it's like his back, and he's like looking over his back at you.
I'll say it, then I'll be perfected.
Yeah.
So anyway, he continues on about the black materia.
Yeah.
And Cloud was like, "Why did you ask me that?" And he says, "Well, a while back, a boy your age came in and asked me if I had black materia," which is a weird thing.
Which also, if he's implying the person that we think he's implying, like,
Which he
he's
is.
even less boyish.
Yeah,
So
and
hold on. It could make sense. But for reasons that I can't say out loud because
Sure.
Alex is still in the room with us. I don't want to spoil it. But because
Alex, just don't listen to this part when you're editing later.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Just give over it.
I'll just assume this whole section is perfectly recorded.
Yeah.
Now that he's gone, guys, let's
Yeah,
not shit
yeah.
on him. No, I'm just, I love him. He's so good.
Yeah. So it may make sense. But anyway.
Yeah. But yeah,
Dio
I think
says-
I also kind of took it as Dio just like he doesn't care what people say. Like he's the one in the room who's always talking, and
Yeah.
he just like sees two people sort of similar, and he's just
Right,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, you probably know that other boy who
we've-
asked me."
we've
that."
already
These two
established
puny
that-
men talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've already established that Cloud is like a menacing presence, right?
Yeah.
As an individual. So like he's seen like some dude with a fucking black cape and an epic sword and was like, yo, the dude looks like a badass. And then he sees
Yeah.
Cloud and was like, that guy looks like a badass. All badasses must know each other.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure they know each other. He says, I thought you might know who he was. Seeing as you're about the same age, the same way I know every person who's my age.
Yeah, exactly.
Just out of curiosity, I looked it up, and Sephiroth is 25 years old, which makes him like 4 years older.
Yeah, like
than-
I think explicitly
Fuck
in the
off, man.
flashback he's older. than-
JRPGs, man. What the fuck?
I know, dude.
which
I
means
haven't.
he was only 16 in Nibelheim, right? Around
Yeah,
that-
how old was Cloud?
Well, to be fair, he didn't
No,
have
Cloud
an
was-
orthodox birth. So
True.
No. Cloud was 16 because he's 21 now. So Sephiroth was 19. 19?
19.
I'm 32 and I haven't burned down any cities yet. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really like
to be
slacking.
fair, then his emotional reaction makes a little more sense.
That is fair. That is entirely
That's
fair.
a good point. Yeah.
But also, like, now that I think about it, like,
He also went
25,
gray really early.
25 isn't necessarily out of the range of being called boy.
But-
Like,
yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah.
it's insulting, but not.
Again, as somebody
Totally
in their early
inappropriate.
30s, I feel like I could call somebody
Yeah.
who's like 24 and be like, you little kid, you
Yeah.
little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got carded the other day, and that felt great.
Especially if you're as pretty as Cloud.
Yeah. But anyway,
So
Well,
now I'm
it's
just
canon that Cloud looks beautiful in a dress, so I'm just saying.
it is. It's canon that he looks beautiful in a dress. It's canon that he looks beautiful
Great in a soldier
outfit. Yeah. But anyway, so Dio said, "Oh yeah, go ahead."
Yeah, real quick. I just finding out that Sephiroth was 19. I just imagine him in the Shinra basement listening to 19 by Tegan and Sarah.
I feel like Sephiroth at 19 is in Tifa's house playing my Black Parade on on the piano.
Only the one note though.
Yeah, just the one note. So Dio says that the guy had a 1 tattooed on his hand, and we've
Yep.
heard before about people with tattoos on their hands.
Oh shit,
right?
guys! I think we're through the looking glass
Oh,
again.
is he a 1%er?
No,
Oh shit!
I have.
I never noticed that
If
you
you'll
had-
look
Oh, yeah.
on my arm,
I never noticed that you had a tattoo.
I have
on there.
19 tattooed in Roman numerals on my arm.
From the Tegan and Sarah song.
Yeah, so
Oh, I, thought
it's
I thought you were just really into the serial kicks and like misspelled it.
I've gotten that before, and I'm not mad about it. People are like, "Oh, I thought you really liked that cereal." I'm like, "Yeah, that's cereal."
He's like, "Look,
it's kid tested and mother
I
approved."
was getting ready to say, I was like,
What
"Would you
more
shut
could
up,
you
I'm
ask
your mom approved." So yeah.
Oh fuck, that's
Yeah.
good.
But Cloud asks, where did this person go? Dio just laughs and says, I have no idea. And says, I say, stop by the battle arena if you like, boy.
Yep.
You'll probably like it. Many of my collections are on display. Yeah.
And then he just like walks off, which is funny because like he's going back to the station, which is like the weird tube that we don't
Yeah.
know how you actually move from one area
Yeah.
to the next. And he just like slowly walks down like what looks like a hallway.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, Dio's a man of many mysteries.
It's interesting too how in every square the like tubes that take you from one to the other, they're all themed.
They
And
are.
they all
Yeah.
like have different architecture and like
These
kind
ones look
of-
like caves.
Yeah.
Like, they look like caves.
It's
Yeah.
really
too.
cool. Man, I wish my transit was like themed by location.
That'd be awesome.
15th Street Station
that'd be
downtown
sick.
is like the hub for Philadelphia.
You're just waking up early in the morning, going to work, and you have to jump through like a Chuck E. Cheese slide.
Yeah.
Oh, that would make my day though.
That would be pretty good.
Oh man.
Because you can't be like mad. You just
Yeah, it's impossible to be mad.
Yeah, even Barrett's throwing his arms up.
So I was expecting to like get to the Wonder Square and like see Barrett playing some games and shit, but
yeah.
I was a little disappointed when we get there.
Yo, I'm trying to imagine Barrett like mad, like, you know, when they were like they're trying to cheer him up and he like runs off and he's like I'm just picturing the scene of him in the tube, like arms crossed,
Yeah,
like,
mad as heck,
angry
just
as
flying
he's
through
like
the tubes,
basically in a water slide.
Yeah, right.
That'd be so good.
That's so awesome.
Have any of you seen that picture of Billy Corgan in the roller coaster?
Yes,
Yes.
it is that. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see John Delaney on the sack
Yes, on the
slide?
slide. A tweet that people were like, I hope he goes on the slide again this year. That's so good.
I have
So
not seen that. I gotta look that up. Have you guys Have you guys seen the picture of that like supermodel guy Fabio?
Yes. Oh, when he gets hit by a goose.
There's like a bird flying and he's on a roller coaster
It
and
breaks
smacks
his
him in
nose
the
or
face.
something,
Oh
yeah.
shit, that sucks.
Yeah, his nose is all fucking bloody and everything afterwards.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
The
fucked up.
worst injury.
So
You should see the other guy. Oh, it's the first Google search. Oh, it's probably because my computer's listening to us. It's not as. Oh, that John Delaney.
John
Oh,
Delaney,
God.
John Delaney.
I thought, isn't there a
Butterfly,
comedian named
sugar.
John Delaney?
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
Yeah.
Oh, I was.
He's
expecting
also
to
my
see-
butterfly sugar baby.
Much more entertaining. To
John
listen to.
Mulaney is so great. John Delaney sucks shit.
There you go.
It's an official stance of the pod.
Yeah.
Come on our podcast.
This
John Delaney will tell
Defend
you.
yourself.
Will tell you
Yeah.
you suck shit.
that reference, much like John Delaney, will be completely meaningless here in a couple months.
No, that man's our next president. What are you talking about?
Debate me.
This is the bump he needs.
Debate me, Eris or Aerith, John Delaney, your call.
Get in my guard.
Tim Ryan pops in and he's like, you don't have to yell. At Barrett, probably.
So we go to the next area. We ready?
Yeah.
I want to get to the Wonder Square, baby.
Yep. So we get to the we jump through the Wonder Square thing, or we get there, however, and the music changes.
And there is a character standing right there that immediately talks to us.
Yep, just instantly.
And describe what this character looks like.
So we've been talking about like the
Character looks like deviant art.
It's true. He looks like the mascot that is peppered around everywhere at Gold Saucer, which I think is what he is. But
I think it's like a fat Moogle.
yeah,
Because it has the little
Yeah.
wings.
and usually it has Moogles on top of it, but it's like a fat marshmallowy sort of like thing with like Moogle wings or like bat wings, if you don't know
Yeah.
what Moogle wings look like.
Yeah.
I
It might
know it is-
like Kirby halfway through a stone transformation. Like
Yeah, yeah.
But
Thick,
pale.
extra
yeah, he's a
thick
big chunker.
Kirby.
And he's I would say like he's
He looks like Big Chungus.
yeah, he does. He looks like
He's
Big
got the
Chungus.
Big
That's what he
Chungus
looks
shape.
like. Yeah. His like
He looks like
the
shit.
head. The head comes up to about Cloud's shoulders.
Yeah, I think he's actually like 3 foot something. I was trying to
really?
figure out a way to like describe what he looks like in the
Wait,
But
but isn't
There's not a
something else,
Moogle
too.
writing.
right. Instead,
There is a
a cute little kitty cat.
cute little kitty cat in a crown and a cape.
And he's got like Mickey Mouse gloves on.
yeah, like big cartoon Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, it's
gloves.
like a black cat with like a white diamond pattern on its face and belly.
right, and that I take it as that's who's talking to us,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
he's just writing.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like, you know, yeah, I think it is implied, right? Because I think I think it's pretty. You're right that it's the cat
yeah.
that talks, right?
Yeah,
it's the cat.
Which is weird. Like when you look at the icon, like eventually we're gonna get to the name card.
The
where-
proof is this: it uses a megaphone for a weapon.
That's
and
what
in
I
the
was gonna
art, it
say,
holds
yeah.
a megaphone.
megaphone. Now where have I heard that word?
I know.
before?
I listened again to our third podcast recently, where I was like, megaphone. Remember megaphone.
It's like weird that there would be a useless item in a locker in the Shinra building.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Do we like? Is like the reason that it's a megaphone? Is it how like the cat controls the Moogle? Like,
I have no fucking idea.
Like, why-
I don't
This
know
character's
anything.
weird.
This character is and I think I alluded to it earlier. This is my least not earlier.
poorly
this
thought
episode.
out.
I don't like. Yeah.
I don't think I've only met one person who's ever like defended Kate.
I tell
Yeah,
you
and
what.
they're
While
wrong.
you look for the note that
Oh,
you're
I'm
looking...
on the note now.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say no. I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway because I'm on the tirade now. Here
Hell
we
yeah,
go.
get his ass.
So
him.
this is our newest character. Kate is going to be in our party literally after this conversation. No, you know what? I'll save it for the end of the conversation. That's what I'm going to do. now you have to listen to this whole podcast,
Hell
or
yeah.
well, the next like 5 minutes of it,
Yeah.
and then
I will say the best thing about Kate Sith is Kate Sith's theme.
Yeah, it's got a very snappy theme.
I don't know it.
Dude, it bops.
it's playing
it's
here.
so good.
Is it?
It's a
Okay.
bop. It slaps. It's a jam.
Oh, I do know that
Yeah.
one.
Very snappy.
That is a good jam. You're right.
But also
So-
compared to like every other like character theme in this, it's I think the weakest.
Fair.
It's very jazzy and cool and fun, but I guess it is very like representational of the character because he's like
the
a
first thing that
bumbling,
happens when we come up to the character too is they try to read our fortune,
Yeah.
right? And
Dude, yeah, it's
Kate Sith is a he.
I mean,
I think-
I'll go with
we've
he.
already been using he.
Okay.
Like, I think it's genderless. But
I think
like,
it's genderless.
We
yeah,
can use
but
he because
Yeah, we can.
Kate Sith.
I will say without talking too much more about it that it's like objectively a he,
Okay, yeah, okay.
which in probably
yeah,
several
we'll get to
more
eventually.
episodes, whatever.
Yeah.
I love the tone of Kate Sith's theme because like you're right. It's like there's so many different aspects to this character.
Yeah.
Like it's
They
like
all
because it's
suck.
all jovial and it, like he's trying to like be like super friendly to you and like you
Yeah.
know get in your good graces and there's like that weird like carnival aspect to it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But
a little. Yeah.
there's like this kind of like like
seedy.
there's this little like clarinet that's in the background that's just like woo-doo-doo,
I do-
like and you're just like oh you're like smooth okay
yeah.
It's just like
So-
the ocean under the moon.
It's the same as the emotion that I get from you. So yeah, he comes up to us and immediately is just like, "How about it? Want me to read your fortune?" And he said, "A bright future, a happy future." And
And then he says, "Oh, but don't hold it against me if it doesn't come true."
I know. It just immediately recants on what he said. And then he says he's a fortune-telling machine, and he gives us a name, and we can name him.
Yeah,
And so his name's Kate Sith.
he's the evil Jedi version of Kate Bush.
so this
He's
is
always running up that hill to get the higher ground.
But so this is what's confusing. Like he says, "I am a fortune-telling machine."
Yeah.
So is it like a robot?
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is a robot, like
Is the
an
cat a robot, or is it
automaton.
just the Moogle? I don't know.
Well, I think that there's an answer to that.
There,
question.
yeah,
But
later on.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know the answer.
well, does he say
Weird flex.
Does he say machine or does he say robot?
He says machine.
Because like I can go up to somebody and be like, "Yo, I'm a quesadilla eating machine."
Goddamn right you are.
I had one for lunch today.
Fuck yeah.
Well, the Wikipedia says Kate
Oh,
Sith-
don't Alex,
read
don't
the
read it.
Wikipedia,
Don't,
Alex.
Alex and everyone.
Alex, you're ruining it.
It doesn't say spoiler, but it's fine.
I don't know about. Let me
Close that.
Send me the link.
So
I need
much
to make.
stuff for you.
Yeah. Send Carl the link on his laptop right now so he can read it. He needs to like read
I gotta
it
vet
for
this.
you.
We're gonna vet it live.
Yeah.
In everyone's head is that like siren from from like Kill Bill.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. Just don't look at it.
I'm just looking at the picture.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
just
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
In case you can't tell, we're short one microphone, so I sound shitty right now.
You always sound good. It's just
Yeah.
the headphones you're wearing, buddy. But yeah, while Alex is messing with
Yeah.
this, I'll talk
Here-
about the one person that I've ever met who like actually likes this character.
Are you still friends with them?
Yes,
What the fuck, Carl?
like a casual
Okay,
acquaintance.
go
No,
ahead.
no,
I'm,
I mean,
I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
value everyone's opinion, even if it's different than mine, unless you're like Ben Shapiro or some fucking piece of shit. But yeah. So he said
Carl
the
doesn't
whole.
care about free speech.
I hate it. That's why I'm on a podcast. My buddy who said that, the reason that he said he likes Kate Sith is because he's like the only character that's not an anime trope.
Which is a lie. Like Kate Sith is the
Get his
You know
ass.
most.
I love Kevin Corion.
Kate Sith is the most anime character-esque of all of them. It just looks like literally like some 14-year-old's deviant art character. Like, it's so poorly thought
OC
out.
copyright to now.
Compared to literally like this. Okay, first of all, Cloud, yeah, Guts reference, got it. Like definitely anime reference. But Barrett, just a man with a machine gun for a hand. Like in 1997, I don't think that was like a trope.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Mega Man.
Oh,
Rapid fire.
shit.
No, I don't know.
Is Mega Man anime?
We're asking the hard-hitting questions. There is like the Mega Man anime though.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, there's also the cartoon, which isn't technically that's like
So-
calling the Zelda cartoon anime. But
I prefer to call it perfection.
I prefer to call it art.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also like as soon as he said like
Persona 3 and 5.
as soon as he said arm cannon, I was like, oh no, I'm wrong. Oh no.
Super Mario RPG.
Yes, but how many of them have a cannonball on their hand?
Or
scissors.
atomic scissors. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah. So
Pokemon?
while we're
Did you say Pokemon?
Well, no humans.
while we're going through that, let's go ahead and like kind
I
of get
didn't
through
see
this
that.
conversation too.
Yeah. Doesn't Finn in Adventure Time eventually get a gun, or maybe? I don't know. Moving on. Go
Sorry.
ahead, Curtis.
Yeah. So he says. So talking about the fortunes and what like his clairvoyant properties or whatever, like he says, I can find things, missing people, anything. And Cloud's like, oh shit, can you tell me where a man named Sephiroth is then? And Kate Sith tries, right? He's like, okay, I'll do my best. We'll try to do it. So he does like a little like running
how
in
convenient.
place.
Yeah.
He does like a little running in place animation, like for like he's like swinging his arms forward and backward and like running in place, and that's him like coming up with a fortune. And then like the way I interpret it, because like you can't see it, but I interpret it like a slip of paper comes
It's like
out
coming
of
out his mouth. or
yeah, out of
something.
his mouth, and it like hands it to Cloud, and it just says, "Ordinary luck. It will be an active fortune, given to the goodwill of others, and something big will happen this summer."
Ooh.
Yeah. And Kate Sith is like,
A handsome dark stranger awaits you.
"Ooh, yeah." So Kate, oh no! So Kate Sith says, "Oh, that's not right. Let me try again." And so he does it again, and the next fortune says, "Be careful of forgetfulness. Your lucky color is ... blue?" Question mark.
Dabba dee, dabba
And so-
die.
Yeah, so I like that. Like even the fortune that says your color is blue has a question mark at the end of it.
Yeah, like
I just-
not very good.
I love it. It's just like it's like, oh hey, on the off chance that you might be like looking for someone, I have fortunes. Here, read this.
Yeah.
Shit, wrong one. Shit, wrong one.
Yeah, I know. So Cloud's like, yo, forget this. This
Yeah.
is a waste of time. And Kate Sith begs real quick. He's like, wait, give me another chance. Let me try it one more time. So he tries it again, and he gives the paper to Cloud, and then like Cloud is kind of taken aback.
Yeah,
he like
Tifa-
reads it, and he's like, oh shit. You know,
Yeah, and Tifa's
Tifa's
like, what does it say?
yeah, and he reads it off and says, what you pursue will be yours, but you will lose something dear.
Yeah.
And Kate Sith is like, well, I don't know if that's good or bad. And so he says
Definitely
it's the-
bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's bad.
yeah. He says it's the first time I've ever gotten something like this, and then he's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna follow you."
Yeah, he says, then shall we? It's like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah. And so like everybody's like, "What?" Like, yeah. Cloud's like, "What do you mean?" Yeah, and he's like, "No, I'm going with you. I'm a fortune teller. It's gonna bug me until I know what this is about." But you're right, Corey. It is a little suspicious that some guy pops up immediately knows we're looking for something.
This was Corey. This was Corey coming to the podcast today. He was like, "Hey, shall we?" And I'm like, what?
Yeah. And Corey's like, "As
will
a,
lose
as a
something
train
dear."
expert, it will bug me if I don't." Yeah.
Cloud's virginity.
What?
Oh, you'll lose something, Cloud's virginity.
Does he treat that dearly? Also during this conversation, like I couldn't help but think, like, man, this place is not very like accessible. Like I imagine like someone in a wheelchair trying to
Yeah,
like,
like- Oh,
trying,
no,
to,
you're
trying to like
right.
use one of these tubes in the ground and they just like flop out on the
Oh
other
no,
side.
you're right. yeah.
I bet the company behind it is fucking awful.
Yeah, they probably don't like regulations or anything like that.
Do you? Is that OSHA?
OSHA.
Did Shinra build Gold Saucer?
Yes, they did. And I didn't realize that until this time, but when you look at the info square, like it'll say, like, I'm pretty sure that's where it is. There'll be like dialogue that's like, oh, you'll have an amazing time, like with like the gold saucer and stuff. And it's like Shin, and it's signed Shinra.
No shit.
Yeah, so
also-
Shinra-
I did not see that. I had no idea.
So it's like even darker. Like,
Well,
well,
think
I'm gonna
about
put
also,
this episode off till next week because now I have to completely recontextualize it.
dude. Like, think about this. Every rich person you've met so far in this game is tied to Shinra,
Oh, absolutely.
and this is the place that everyone goes to spend their money.
Yep.
Which is also owned by Shinra.
Yeah.
And all the currency is just like Shinra.
It's like the
funds.
Shinra bucks.
Yeah.
The entire world is just company script.
Yeah,
or whatever.
seriously.
Like all yeah. So it's like we were
So
saying.
yeah, there was another thing that I think we kind of glossed over a little bit where I it's just like a
Is
little
it the fact
personal-
that there's somebody dressed up as Wedge's fucking costume or whatever when he's undercover here?
Oh no, I didn't.
And I was
even
like,
realize
Wedge!
that. Oh,
It's
that's-
Wedge in his little
He's
boy
back!
costume. He's not dead, but no,
Oh,
it's
no.
just somebody with the same
He
character
just
model.
wandered off the ghost.
No,
yeah.
Square.
I just
Well, we
like-
already know that ghosts can come back and give us training
advice.
tutorials
Yeah,
again
yeah.
and say they're gonna get revenge.
Yeah.
But no, it's that Kate Sith is saying that like it's the first time that he's ever gotten something like this. So like he's like a fortune telling machine, and usually he just spits out the generic things that you would get at like a Zoltar or whatever,
Right,
like, at some
right.
like boardwalk somewhere.
But for whatever reason.
But for this one, he's like, oh shit, this is new. Like this is weird.
Yeah. Which makes you also think that like
It gives it more
there's
gravity.
something going on inside of him that's not just like pre-written messages or something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So yeah, which yeah.
And he also has some form of sentience because he's a machine from like the gold
well, like I
saucer
said,
or whatever.
I took it to mean like he's a fortune-telling machine, you know?
Oh,
just
okay,
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I did not interpret it that way.
Yeah.
I just
I
was like,
thought,
oh
like-
no, this is just an anime robot. That,
Yeah, he's like the
has
mascot
sentience.
of the place.
I think that the mascot is, but again, we kind of said that the cat was the one talking. I take it that the cat is sentient.
Shit, we should probably like watch Advent Children and just see when he's talking. I think it's the cat.
Yeah.
You want to open the deep lore?
Yeah,
Oh,
look at the
you
deep
have
lore.
no idea how
Witness the sacred texts.
you have no idea.
No, the sacred text is game facts. We've
Yeah.
already established that.
And yeah, there's nothing but bad shit there.
Written by Absolute Steve.
I have a lot of good game facts and forum post things to talk about today.
Really?
Hey, look,
Yeah.
game facts don't care about your feelings.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
Man.
Fuck yes! God damn! I think I tried hammering that joke in somewhere else in my notes, and I was like, "Nah, it doesn't really fit there." I'm so glad you are here.
God damn it.
damn! How do I follow that up?
Yeah, I know. Well, let's just go to the next scene.
So yeah. Anyway, Kate,
Battle Square?
Kate Sith says that
Okay.
if he doesn't see how it turns out, he'll never be able to relax. So he's going with you.
Yeah, no matter what. He says, no matter what you say.
Yeah, exactly.
Because TV
Yeah, your
even
consent
asks,
doesn't
like, is it
matter.
all right if he comes? And he
Yeah.
goes, well, I'm not listening. Yeah, I'm coming with you no matter what.
Yep. Just so it, like
Then
right
he
off
climbs inside. No, he doesn't climb inside you. He goes down the tube, right?
no, I think he does
No, he
climb
climbs
inside you.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
Jumps in your
Oh, he
pocket.
climbs inside you.
Clyde's literally like, hey,
yeah.
I didn't consent to this.
No, it doesn't seem like Kate Sith cares about consent at all.
Yeah.
Judging from his character.
The
yeah.
worst character.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say something earlier, and now I'm gonna bring it up.
Hell yeah.
That thing I was gonna say. Okay, Kate Sith, new playable character, uses a megaphone. Limit breaks. Let's talk about limit breaks.
Yep.
Has 2 limit breaks. All the other characters, all of them, except for one other one, have the normal set of limit breaks, 2 per level, 4 levels of limit breaks. Kate Sith only has 2 limit breaks total. One of them is fine. It's called Dice, and
Pretty good.
You roll pairs
Except you
of
can't
dice.
like control it.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't control it,
complete
yeah.
RNG. It's
Yeah.
even more random than Tifa's because with Tifa's you can do the like mashed
You
square
can at
thing
least,
to
yeah.
slow it down and make
even
sure
if you
get a
don't
hit.
do that, you can still time it right. and
Yeah,
get it, you know what
exactly,
I mean?
yeah,
There's skill
like-
involved with that.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
could just be, a pro gamer. It's no problem.
Yeah. So for Kate Sith, you roll out dice, and the numbers on the dice are the amount of damage that you do. Right?
Yeah, it multiplies it by like 100. So if you roll 7, you do 700, I think, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
you can get up to like
for-
1200.
you get 4 dice eventually. And
Oh, wow.
yeah. So anyway, but the second limit break is slots, and it just turns into a slot machine. And the slot machine is too quick to actually like hit it like the same way you would with Tifa. And you could learn what's on each slot, and you could do it and get it right. But let me tell you why it's the worst one. Because I was playing when I was younger, and just like when my game froze last time, I hadn't saved in a while. And there's a scene much later at beginning of Disc 2 where you have to have Kate Sith in your party. Like it is it's mandatory for like 3 battles.
Yep.
And I fucking rolled all duds, and it just gives you game over.
Yep.
It just gives you game over.
Fucking Christ.
Why the fuck would I have that character in my party if there's always a chance every time you limit breaks that you just game over? What the fuck? And at that point, at the beginning of Disc 2, there's no save point yet. I had to go back to Disc 1.
You had to, yeah, you
I had to go into
break out
Disc
the
1
old disc.
and go through the whole ending sequence of Disc 1 again. What the fuck?
Dude, it's so
fuck
funny.
Kate Sith.
It's a good thing you weren't like Cortez, and when you got to the new land, you just burn all your ships.
You melt your disc.
You snap your disc one in half. You're like done with that.
Yeah. That is how I'm going to play RPGs from now on.
There's no getting off this train we're on.
Break the disc after you get off of one.
I think it's really telling that they only gave Kate Sith 2 limit breaks because they're like, dude, no one's gonna want to play this character.
I don't know, man.
If you
literally, yeah.
If you like Kate Sith, leave us a 5-star review and tell us why.
Yeah.
So we can make
I
fun
will
of you on
say
the podcast.
Kate Sith's final weapon does follow Cloud's final weapon logic, so you can get a fuckload of damage out of him in game. Like very end game, when you have it, you can just pump out damage if you want. But again, it comes with that price of when you get limit breaks, you're either A, going to do less damage than normal anyway, or you just straight game over.
Yep.
Well, you know what they say. A Sith deals in absolutes.
Yeah,
I can't kick you out because you're the producer and you make this podcast happen.
Yeah.
like
Corey made that same joke to me earlier before we came over here, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, save it for the pod."
stealing my valor.
So are you guys ready for Battle Square?
Yep.
All right, so the next place we go is Battle Square, and like I said, we can go to the other places, and we'll get to that when we come back and do our
we'll talk more in
Gold
depth
Saucer
about
special. So we come in, and so like this area, there's the tubes or the entrances to each other square are divided up, 4 on one side, 4 on the other side, right? We have like a straight ahead view of the Battle Square, right?
Right.
So we come out into like a little plaza, and then there's a big there's a staircase that leads up to like a castle, and that's where the actual Battle Square is, right?
Yeah.
And right at the base of those stairs is a Shinra guard standing there, right? Which I should have thought, like, Shinra's presence there must mean... I just figured that, like,
Something's
they brought
going on.
people there because of Sephiroth coming through and Cloud coming through.
Which makes sense.
I didn't realize that they actually built and owned and operated the place, which
Yeah.
makes sense. They're
I think
the
that
only...
You're not really supposed to know that. Like, I remember this reading as like, oh, so Shinra's here too. Like they put a Shinra soldier
what I
here.
thought,
You know,
yeah.
I don't think it's like obvious.
It's really not, and
in
I
the
didn't.
game.
I never realized that until this playthrough.
When he read the info sign, yeah. But either way, Cloud notices that he's there and is like alarmed by it. And then the dude just falls over, just onto his face.
Yep.
And you walk up to him and Cloud just goes, oh shit, he's dead. So this
Yep.
dude's dead, right? And Cloud immediately runs off. He runs toward the Battle Square. And I had Tifa with me and she's like, oh wait, Cloud, hold on, don't run yet. But he runs ahead. So we kind of come up into this scene, right? And like, we should have already dropped one at the beginning of the episode. That there's a little bit of a content warning.
We'll record it before and drop it in.
Yeah, but for people listening along with us, this is where we're going to get into that content.
If you didn't read the description and you have a 30-second skip button, I'll edit in the correct number, which is either push it 1, 2,
3 times a lady.
3, 4.
Wait, real quick tangent.
I don't even know what we're doing.
Real-
I'm going to edit in the correct number.
He's gonna punch in the right number of skips based on how long we talk.
I
Like
got
an hour later, he's like, 122.
Real quick.
123.
Real quick, because I tweeted about this and it did pretty well, but I went in a weird Wikipedia hole the other day.
Yeah.
And somehow came across Wikipedia pages for numbers.
Yeah.
Individual numbers.
Yeah.
So there are people who are making Wikipedia pages for 200 is the numerical value that comes after 199 and before 201. And I was like, this is some really dark shit. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it fucking bothers me.
There's a podcast that I listen to sometimes called The Infinite Monkey Cage, which is just a bunch of like scientists kind of talking about things.
Oh, cool.
And on one of the episodes, they were talking about math, and they had some guest comedians and scientists on, and everybody went around and said their favorite number, and one guy was like 261 or whatever. And they were like, well, that's such a weird number. Why is that your favorite? He's like, it's the first one that doesn't have a Wikipedia article to itself.
Holy shit.
Man, that's a lot of work that they put into that, for no compensation. those lazy people that
Who would do
just
such a thing?
yeah.
Who would put hours of work into...
Who would do anything if not, incentivized by pay?
In the same realm, you should also look up like really basic stuff on Wikipedia, like chair. And it's really bizarre, like trying to see someone explain what a chair is, and like
That's true.
it's
Fucking weird,
huge. This
man.
huge Wikipedia article on what a chair is.
That's incredible.
So
But
now we're going to read all of that article.
But in all seriousness though, we like this is
Shit's about to get real dark.
Shit's about to get real
Like,
dark.
real dark.
And like you probably have already skipped past it, but if you haven't, this is the content warning.
If you skip ahead and we're still talking about chairs, you keep
Gone
skipping.
too far.
yeah, okay. So we walk in, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 dead bodies on the ground, right? And 4 of them are Shinra guards, and 2 of them are desk attendants, right? So, and like the desk attendants are like doubled over their desks, right?
Yeah.
Like, we call them attendants or cashiers, maybe.
Yeah, like employees of
Employees of the Gold Saucer,
workers.
right? Not non-soldiers.
Yeah.
Like specifically, they are not part of like Shinra's military. They're employees who work
Yeah.
at the Gold Saucer,
Right.
right? And everybody's dead. Like they're all died. They're all died.
They-
they're
they are sick.
they all these guys.
They
are
are sick.
So Cloud runs in, says, "Oh, did Sephiroth do this?" And then notices they've all been shot.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he mentions that Sephiroth would never use a gun.
Would never use a gun.
It's too uncool.
He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
yeah,
So
yeah.
uncivilized.
So
Wait, that also made me think of we talk about GMC Faux Show. I want to talk about my other favorite YouTube rapper, Krispy Kreme, who has a song called "The Baddest of Them All," and in the music video, he's like holding guns with Moneymaker Mike, and it's like oh, what's the fucking lyric? He says that I don't even carry a gun, like while holding a gun. It's very good.
yeah. So somebody's come in and
So
shot all these
Sephiroth
people.
is the baddest of them all.
Man,
the baddest of them all.
And if you're not about money, then he doesn't mess with y'all. He'll think he doesn't get girls because he ain't very tall. But if you saw his stacks, I bet you they would call. We can continue.
Dude, it's so weird that like in the world of Final Fantasy VII, like the fact that someone used a gun, they're just like, this could only be one man. Like,
yeah. Well, I guess
They give it a little more.
Well, right
context,
now I feel
Oh,
like,
that's right, that's right, yeah,
because right now we don't know what the deal is. It's just someone with a gun.
Yeah,
right?
like,
Yeah.
just
And we've seen other people use guns before, like the Shinra guards have guns.
Yeah,
and stuff
constantly.
Like that, and, yeah, and yeah.
But there's one attendant who is still alive,
Right.
and they kind of stir a little bit, and you run over to them and say like, "What happened?"
Yeah, and they're able to kind of like get out the words that it was a man with a gun on his arm.
Yep.
And Tifa's like, "Oh shit, a gun on his arm." So already the party is thinking, they're like,
Yep. And they're like,
"I hope this wasn't
"Fuck." He
Barrett."
was real pissed the last time.
Yeah. The
So-
last time we saw Barrett, he was talking to himself. He was super grumpy. Ran off on his own.
Yeah, ran in this kind of general direction,
Right. And then we walk up on the square, and
and all of a sudden,
everybody's been shot. There's
Yeah.
been a shooting here. So
and then as they're thinking about that, just hold it right there and stay
yep.
quiet.
And Dio with some guards run in, and they look like they're like also in like security employees.
Yeah, they
They're
don't.
not in the
They're not
Shinra
like the
uniforms.
Shinra.
Right.
The Shinra police that we've seen.
Yeah, but I do like that Dio just has like the hey, he just goes, "Did you do this?" Like he just comes
Yep.
in and is like, "Hey, was this you guys?" And Cloud says, "No, it wasn't us." And
Kate Sith just says,
Kate just says run. And if there was any like deniability, it's
it's
gone
gone.
now.
He
It's
just
gone.
fucked it
You
up.
fucked us all, Kate Sith.
like,
Already.
oh,
You've been in the party for
"We
30
just
seconds.
met that dude like 2 seconds ago."
I know, and he's like, "Oh, run!" Yeah, I know. And so Dio's like, "Stop them!" So
Yeah.
one day we'll put that counter on the website of the "Seize Them" counter. And here's another one. Stop him!
I was just thinking, like, in this scene when you come in here and you see all these bodies, like, I feel like you're kind of conditioned to this point to think it must be Sephiroth.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh no, they've been shot," and you're like,
or like
"What?"
Genova or something,
Yeah,
or like
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Dead
Every time
monster.
we've walked, I think every time we walked into a group of fucking dead bodies,
Yeah.
it's been.
It's
Either
like and the fact that you
Sephiroth
say
or-
every time, like, it's happened a lot
It
so
has.
far.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So
it
like
really
you walk
has.
in, you're like, "Oh shit, Sephiroth's here," and then like it's bullets, and then you're like, "Are we the baddies?"
Oh yeah. So we run in, and we actually run to the area where the Battle Square battles take place at, which we
Yeah.
can come back and play later.
which is great. I love that minigame.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's like it's pretty cool too, because it's like a little fighting arena that's like not suspended, but like there's like 2 bridges that go to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
and
a
there's like these
medieval-
epic like chains on the wall, and
Like
there's like
purple water.
a purple goo water like that surrounds it or whatever. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And Dio comes in and he's like, "Oh, that's as far as you go," and immediately Kate Sith runs farther into the complex. So like, I don't know what that was all about. But these like machines, right, come out of like that. I guess like different areas, right?
Yeah.
They're like tiny little AT-ATs.
yeah,
or-
yeah.
Is AT-AT?
What are the
Is that-
what are the
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
ones of those?
ATST.
Yeah, one of them's the camel one, and one of them's the two-legged one.
Yeah.
They look like the two-legged machines from Star Wars.
Chicken walkers.
The
Yeah.
chicken walkers.
All
But
train scout transport.
okay, the ATST. Yep.
Vindication. I know about transport.
Yeah. even fantasy transportation, he's got it under control. Yeah, so they come out, and these big machines, we can't do anything about them. They overpower us and capture us.
Yeah, like
Right.
Kate Sith walks forward and then backs up and says Cloud, and then one walks from like the alleyway that he was walking through, the entryway that he was walking
Yeah.
through, and then two more jump down. So like all three of you are surrounded by three of them.
Right. And it immediately cuts over. Like we get a sense that some time has passed. It cuts over, and the machines are like one of the machines is holding Cloud, right?
Yeah.
And Dio says one more to go, and he's kind of holding him in front of this circle.
The's like a seal. It looks like
a seal
like
on
a
the
presidential
ground.
seal or like the FBI. seal
Yeah,
or
and it
something.
says "Gateway to Heaven."
Oh
on it.
yeah,
Yeah, which is
it's
awesome.
really good.
Arbekt
good.
macht frei.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah,
like, dude,
God, that's,
When you know what's
yeah,
on the
real
other
dark.
side of that
Yeah.
thing, it's like, ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, so and yeah, it's on the ground, and like the middle of this seal has like a line down it, like it's gonna open up,
Yeah.
you know, and be like a pit, and it does open up, and it's like fucking empty air down there,
Yeah,
right? Like,
Dio says like Cloud like tries like pleading their case again. He's like, hey, like pay attention, and then
Yeah,
Dio's
yeah.
like, I don't need to hear it. Pay for your crime below.
yeah,
He just-
and
I love how like no one that they arrested has a gun.
yeah, I know. No one they arrested has a gun. I mean, what, yeah, they didn't listen to us or anything, but
yeah.
almost like a certain justice system. I know. So yeah,
You really think they would do that? Just imprison innocent
Yeah,
people?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is where we're going to go into the next area of the game, which is going to be the Gold Saucer Prison. What do they call it?
It's called the Coral Prison.
Coral
I
Prison.
originally wrote it down as like Desert Prison because that's
Okay.
kind of how it's been referred. But the actual like card that it says when
Okay.
you open the menu is Coral
So
Prison.
this is kind of another section. We're going to do this for the second half of the podcast. So we're going to take a little,
little quick break.
what is the shoot move?
The swamp
Swamp
shoot.
We're going to take a little swamp shoot real quick, and we'll catch you in a minute.
This is the first swamp shoot with an actual shoot.
What the fuck is up, Denny's?
Coral Prison, guys. We're here.
We're here.
And
We
we're
made
here.
it.
We've been thrown out of the gateway to heaven. We've thrown out the gateway to heaven.
Quick, grab your guitar.
Wait.
Yeah, now it's your turn, motherfucker.
That's all that I know of.
Hell yeah, that's way more than I knew of fucking Cosmo Canyon.
So anyway, yeah. So we've landed at the base of the Gold Saucer,
Yep.
which is just an expansive desert.
Yep.
Right. So like, no, I was gonna say no way in, no way out, but the way in and way out is the desert.
But we just found a way in,
yeah. Okay. Never mind. There is a way in. Getting thrown down here into the
getting
prison.
wrongfully accused.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
Starring
It's like-
Leslie Nielsen.
Out of Blade Runner into Mad Max.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. Yeah, there's a lot of like dilapidated, broken down, fucking death cars around.
Do not get acquainted with the taste of water, for you will
Yeah.
resent its absence.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah. that's
God, I
where
gotta
we
watch
are.
that movie again.
So yeah, we kind of fall down here, and it's kind of like you said, a big desert, and we're in a not an oasis, but like the area where all the convicts are at, right?
Yeah.
And so like there are like rudimentary shelters, I guess. Like
Yeah.
there's like looks like bombed out houses, kind of.
It's not like a traditional prison. It's basically just like there's, like Curtis was saying, there's no way out. So
Yeah,
it's more or
so-
less you're just in the elements. And
Right.
as we'll like see a little more like clearly later, this is actually where Coral was.
Oh, so it's like a
Yeah.
prison with no overhead expenses.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Oh,
We should
no.
try that.
No.
Yeah, so so that's the prison that we're in right now. And like you said, yeah, it's kind of you're left to the elements. There aren't like cells or anything like that. It's just like you're stuck in the middle of the desert. Your best chance for survival is to stay near the base of the Gold Saucer and get whatever supplies you can from it.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lovely little inn here.
Is there an inn?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there is.
So they're we're getting a little bit ahead, but since I brought it up, there's a truck down towards like the south end of town.
Mr. Coates.
Yeah, Mr. Coates'
Yeah.
truck. If you go into the cab of the truck, like the music stops and it's just you're in like the cab of it.
What?
And it just says like, I guess I can rest here, and you just rest, and it's the plays
What?
the little
Nice.
tune. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I
That's
did not see that.
Yep.
Oh man,
it's nice because the enemies here are pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah, they are. Fuck, man. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the enemies before we get into the
Yeah,
the plot
so
of it.
it's like a town, but it's unique in a way that there's still enemy encounters, and these enemy encounters are like bandit enemies,
Yeah.
which are just a beefed up version of like the ones that we saw before. They
Yeah.
can mug you, they can
Stole my
steal
motor
from-
drive.
Yo, it stole mine too, and then I fucking reset because it actually got away with it. Because
Really?
I was side
I was
attacked.
able to kill it.
The
before it got
motherfucker took off
back.
my motor
man.
drive, and I
Yo,
was
what
like,
about,
nope.
What about those fucking Two-Face coins?
Those things are really cool. So I wanted to talk about them too. There's these like weird like bouncing masks, and they will not attack you until you attack them.
Yeah.
And then there's a 1 in 4 chance for them to respond to your attack.
Yeah.
And like 50% of that is just doing nothing. And
Is it really 1/4? Because
That's
I
what I
swear
read.
they were doing it like every fucking turn to me.
they that's what I read on the Wikipedia,
Yeah.
but it could be different. But
I mean, it would stand to reason that like if enough people play the game, somebody's going to play the game where it seems like they're doing it every turn. That just happens to be mine.
exactly, yeah. I think they actually like data mined it and have the actual code.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now.
Ooh.
AI script. 3/4 chance. Bracket. 3/4 chance it does nothing.
Oh, wow.
1/8 chance
Oh,
to use
damn.
a self-destruct.
So yeah, that's what
And
you're
then
saying. That's right.
and then
8th chance it'll cure you.
Cure 3, which does a lot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's an interesting thing. When it uses the self-destruct move, it deals a shit ton of damage.
a fuckload.
But do you know what it's actually more like a gravity attack from Final Fantasy.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
does
it only does
7%.
75% of your current HP. Because I was fighting them, and I was down in yellow with like Kate Sith and Cloud,
Yeah.
and they used it again on me. I was like, well, they're dead. And then it was just like it did like 50
Interesting.
damage, and I was
I
like,
didn't
oh
know
shit,
that. I
okay,
didn't
so it's
know
like
that.
Demi or whatever.
Okay, all right. I was freaking out. I was like, "Fuck, dude! I need to
Yeah.
keep healed up and shit." Yeah,
Yep.
I was-
Dude,
right.
this area really does a good job of having all of the game elements work against you for like feeling any sense of like comfort or
Yeah,
safety.
especially
absolutely.
like right out the gate too, like with the song that starts playing.
Yeah, dude, this song is so good. It's like one of my favorites on the whole track. Like like you mentioned, you're out in the elements. There's like literally like a rattlesnake like kind
Yeah.
of sound in the music
Yeah,
itself. It's just so bleak and so just doom and like
Yeah.
It's very desolate. It's
Yeah,
very
it's-
creepy. It's got that cool rattlesnake sound that I
Yeah.
think that just played there. But
Dude, it's so good.
I had a friend who could do that like perfectly, and we made
Really?
him do it all the time. It was always funny.
and there's a
I
part
was like, oh god, am I in Coral Prison now?
there's a part in this track where the music like stops for a beat and it's like out of rhythm.
Yeah.
Like the song dies.
Oh, man.
And then it comes back and you're just like, oh dude. Like it
That-
gets me every time.
We're also listening to it now live on the podcast, and it like synced up perfectly with
Yeah,
what we talked
yeah,
about.
when you
That's
said it.
awesome.
We're
That's
there
not-
with you right now, audience.
So yeah, we fall down here and our kind of party talks to each other. The whole y'all right spiel. Are you okay?
Yeah.
And we learn that we're in the desert prison, Corel prison, which is a natural prison in the middle of the desert. And Kate says entirely surrounded by quicksand.
Mm-hmm.
Is it surrounded by quicksand?
Yeah.
Because we can run around in it.
I think so.
Maybe the outer banks.
I
It's
remember-
very,
Yeah.
it's very
I remember
fast sand.
the perimeter of it,
It's-
because you can actually I went through and was just kind of wandering the area, and you can actually get to like the desert area from the world map, and if you
Right.
step on it, Cloud like starts to like sink, and he runs back and he's like, what, like it stops you, and it's like, whoa,
Oh,
no
wow.
getting through this, like we have to find a more, I think he says like not even a chocobo can get through this, we need to
Okay.
find a more powerful form of transportation.
Not
Got
even a
you.
normal
More
chocobo.
powerful than a chocobo, you'd say. Something that could be.
How many
the
chocobo
Zalem.
power is that?
So Kate Sith tells us, he's like, no one, once you go in, no one gets out, except there was one special exception, right?
Yeah.
And so we're already getting a little hint that that's what we'll be doing.
Hell yeah.
But we see Barrett, right?
Yep.
Like, kind of party members look over and we see Barrett, and he's standing over another body.
Having freshly victimized another person.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I think this guy's dead, right?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just standing over another dead body. We kind of approach him, and Cloud's like, "Oh shit, Barrett." He's getting ready to confront him about it. And Barrett says,
Yeah, he
"Just stay back. This is something I got to deal with."
Yep.
Yeah.
And he says, just leave me alone, and he takes off.
Right. And I like
Real teenage angst.
Yeah, I like Kate Sith's response. He's like, Whoa, that's one of your friends? It sure looks dangerous.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Kate.
Yeah, I know.
No one even asked you to come.
Yeah, you don't even go with this.
Yeah.
Like, I was gonna make the same joke.
It's like, wow, that guy looks like a dick. Hey, he's one of our best friends. We've been through a lot of shit with him.
Yeah,
Fuck
I know,
you.
I know. Yeah, Kaseth is just, he's
Yeah.
0 for 10.
No
right now.
chill.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Cloud notices that this guy's also been shot.
Yeah.
So before we go to the next screen, what'd you think about that big hole?
Oh, I love that big hole.
What'd you think about that big hole? There's just a big hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Uh,
You climb down there and let me see. I think I have. Yeah. It's just like a danger high voltage thing. There's like a horse skeleton down
Yeah,
there.
and a sword in it, it looks like.
Yeah, it's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
interesting.
It's very Dark Souls.
The whole
It's where you light the bonfire.
the whole
Yeah, yeah, that's where the bonfire for the area is.
when you're on the surface and you look at the hole, there's like this green light emanating, and it's very reminiscent of like Mako reactors.
Yeah.
So I suspect, because this is high voltage at the bottom, like that's like
It had something to do.
it's
with
like the access hatch to like the thing that powers the
maybe
gold
so.
saucer.
it. Yeah. But
Maybe
importantly,
so.
and by importantly I mean not importantly,
There's a box.
there's a chest down there,
Yeah, and
and
it's
it's
just
already open.
it's just empty.
And you open
It's
it
got
and-
food, and the horse couldn't get the treasure chest open.
Yeah.
So I was wondering like, oh okay, maybe this is something that we come back to or whatever, and we can get an item in it and stuff. But as it turns out, it's just not.
Yeah.
But there was a weird thing in the Japanese version of it.
Oh,
Let me see if I can pull up.
I don't know that.
The old. I'm on the Final Fantasy fandom.com/wiki.
I'm there every day. It's
Yeah,
it's my homepage.
It's called The Basement.
Is that's the name of it? Is the basement?
Yeah.
I mean, we are at the base.
Woo.
Base.
Yeah, it says in the game's original Japanese version, 4 Test Zero enemies could be fought in here. These are believed to be test enemies left in the game since the battle takes place in a jungle background.
What?
The enemies do not attack and yield an extremely high HP count, but also XP, gil, and AP. Test Zero enemies were removed from any subsequent releases.
Wow.
I stopped. I was just going on autopilot when I was reading that sentence.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, substantial?
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah, and
really cool.
it's like I went to the page as well with like what it looks like, because I was like, huh, and it says post Jorg, which I don't know. What that means.
That means after Jorg.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Right.
It's a JO role
Post
game.
means after, and Jorg means Jorg. Yeah, but it just looks like a pyramid enemy, like kind of almost like the top half of the thing that Rufus puts you in.
Japanese online role.
And then-
Oh! You mean the thing top half of the thing Reno puts you in?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
And then there's also the Jorg, which might be Japanese
is during
original.
Jorg.
Japanese, I don't know.
We
But
are the
it's-
Jorg.
And there's a pre.
We are the Jorg. We are the children. But yeah, it's like the dog enemy thing that Rufus has.
Oh, okay.
It's
cool.
very weird.
The Dark Nation.
Dark Nation.
The Dark Nation, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's wild. I didn't know that about the basement.
Yeah, I had no idea either.
Yeah. Because other than that, there's nothing down here. It's just a one-time room that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with nothing in it.
Yeah, that's a weird screen. There's like a dilapidated, collapsed shed in the back, a buggy, this hole, glow hole.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The old glow
you mean,
hole.
you mean, yeah.
The screen that we're on, it's
Yeah.
at the
yeah,
base
yeah,
that we
before we
ended
go
up.
into the basement, right?
Yeah.
I think isn't there also like a gate that's being guarded by someone?
Yeah, there's the gate there, which we'll come back
solitary white picket fence.
You can see like way off in the distance, like mountains and the desert like,
Right,
on
right.
the horizon. And if you try to go there, Cloud just says that we should find Barrett and sort that
Right.
stuff out before we go into the
So,
desert.
so we have to go to the south, right? And there's one of my favorite fucking things. Like, it doesn't matter at all.
It's so
but
dumb and so good.
It's so good. So we walk into the next area, and as soon as we do, there's just a dude with a mohawk and like a sleeveless jacket who just follows us,
Mm-hmm.
just like right fucking behind you, this whole screen. And if you talk to him, he just says ha ha ha, and nothing else.
Yeah, it's
That's
very
it.
creepy.
It's super creepy. He doesn't do
Dude,
anything.
it's just
There's-
new meat hazing.
Yeah, yeah.
That brings
like,
me to another
I'm telling
good,
you everything about this game. Everything about like this scene.
Yeah, this
is
scene
just
is-
designed to make you fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
and they do a good job. And like the thing is, like, it's very like it's uncomfortable and like they don't. The environment's not like spooky, right?
Right.
It's just
No, like no comfort.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can't relax.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because even like the areas, like the houses are all bombed out. There's nowhere to stay there.
Yeah. Well, it's cool too because it's like the outline of like a town that you're used to exploring at this point in the game.
Yeah.
And it has all of the elements of like what would be a safe space, and then you're just like,
Right.
nah.
Yeah.
There's just the random
Get
encounters and
fucked.
stuff.
Yeah. I didn't know you could sleep in the trunk of the
Yeah,
car,
that's
cab of the truck,
I
though.
loved that.
That's awesome.
I was also like, am I gonna wake up with like some of my shit stolen?
Yeah.
Because I also thought like that guy who follows you around and just laughs, like if you
I
open your-
figured if you stopped or something, he would.
Yeah, which he doesn't. And I like looked into it to see if I was like missing something or that if it was like patched out
Yeah.
or whatever. And I found this weird forum post of eyes on FF, and
Okay.
so it's
FF8 reference.
yeah.
Yeah,
All,
sorry, yeah.
all eyes on me, a Tupac reference. But yeah, it says
FF8 is just building up to a Tupac reference the
that'd
whole
be
game.
sick.
Sorry, continue.
But it says that guy in Coral Prison, the one who follows you about saying ha ha ha. Is there any way I can knock him out? And then someone with a Han Solo avatar just says nope. And then someone completely outside of the conversation just says LOL. Well, that was pointless. And then like there's a little bit more, and I think the original poster quoted the LOL that was pointless, and he said, "Lighten up, I was joking." Anyone who's played that game,
I didn't even mean to type that. My friend had my phone.
anyone who's played that game must want to knock him out. Does he actually have a point in the game?
Yeah, to laugh. What is my purpose? You laugh at the player.
I love finding like old like beef
Yeah,
on
yeah.
old forums, and which is something that I find pretty regularly.
I feel like we could make an actual podcast out of old forum beef.
Oh,
Welcome
yeah.
to forum beef.
Like I find it in weird places too. Like I do IT like as my day job, and a lot of times I'll just have to go in like old Microsoft forums and stuff to find stuff, and just seeing people fucking talk shit. And my older brother does the same thing, so I'll just take screenshots of it and send it to him.
That's so good.
And we'll just go back and forth about like the people talking shit to each other on.
That's so good.
So good.
Do you want to talk about the? do you want to talk about the fucking riddle minotaur?
Yeah.
That's so good.
There's some guys in the center of town who to get an answer out of them, you'll have to answer these riddles through.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like that, but it's the easiest version of that.
Yeah,
of all
yeah,
time.
So they're all the same riddle.
Yeah, it's that, like like the traditional like with these two guardians, one tells only the
lies.
truth and one tells only lies. There's just three dudes sitting there, and like one guy
crust
goes,
punks.
yeah, like there's like three crust punks on the ground, and one guy just goes, yeah, none of them will tell you the truth. Like they're all just assholes. They just lie. They just
They
lie all
only
the time.
lie, yeah. And he's like, just talk with them a couple of times and you'll get sick of them.
Yeah, I love it.
So they can give you some information.
They can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the first thing they say is this place is heaven, and it's like, damn,
Yeah.
you sure that's a lie? This place seems great.
That's what the whole said.
Yeah, that's what the whole said, yeah.
No, maybe it's just backwards. Like the whole leading up to Gold Saucer is the gateway to heaven, and they throw you down it, like they throw you out of heaven.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's discuss this for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Where's Heaven's swamp shit?
They do say that they've never heard of the man with a gun on his arm.
Yep.
So which they indicates that yes, they have heard of the man with a gun on his arm.
Yeah, and they say go southwest and you'll meet the boss.
The boss. Yeah. They say I'll meet the boss.
Which is obviously false because Bruce Springsteen has never played South by Southwest.
There's also a guy by like a caged off area who says that that's the elevator that takes you back up to Gold Saucer.
Yeah.
So like there is a way to get back up, but the prisoners are not able to utilize it. Right.
Yeah.
Like they're stuck outside of it, which man must be frustrating.
To
Must
be that close.
To be that close.
Man, it must
to
be
being
frustrating to live in like abject squalor while like rich people are just right there.
Partying above
Could you imagine if real life was like that? Glad that I don't live in a country like that.
Yeah.
I accidentally watched that series Boundary Break, and there
You don't accidentally watch a whole series.
I was looking for information about the Midgar Highway, and I came across this section, which there is an elevator. Is rendered there, but they, I guess you can't access it in the game. Like they maybe had plans to access it eventually, but it's just.
Well, we can. I mean, we eventually do get on the elevator,
on this actual screen, they actually. That cage that covers it is actually like removable in the code.
Oh, wow.
Okay, interesting.
Cool.
So there is behind it rendered a actual elevator door.
Wow.
Yeah, shout out to Boundary Break.
Yeah, absolutely. That is really cool.
That guy's awesome.
But spoiler, you can't actually go in there.
Yeah.
Important.
You can try.
Spoiler alert, you
have to have
never
an
get out of Coral Prison. You just die there.
You have to have an uncle that works at Nintendo to be able to get there.
Importantly, there's an NPC who asks you about the Chocobo race and asks if you want to enter it, which you can't. He tells you, though, if you want to enter it, you need to get the boss's permission.
Yeah.
That's kind of the tidbit that he gives.
So there is some
Chocobo
sort
in the
of
White
structure.
House, it'll never happen.
Nice.
So wait, there was another bit that the lying guy said, which I don't remember what it references. I think it's something that has to be done later, but they say, stay still in the desert and don't walk. There's no way you'll ever see a mysterious chocobo carriage.
It's not if you stay still, I think. It's
Well,
you have to go like 8 screens or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll do that when we go out to see Dyne. We'll get to that part.
Okay, because I don't know if I actually did that.
I did it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I didn't either.
We'll get to
Only one of us did our actual homework.
Usually it's not me.
Corey's currently looking off of my answers.
No, I'm
All
trying
the
to
answers
think,
are
like,
C.
there was a lot of negatives in that sentence, so I wouldn't be surprised if like the translation got weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
What
like,
would
and
you
they were-
know about it? I don't think we even talked about it. I alluded to that in a joke form at the beginning of the episode where I said he's not really that good of a weeb, but he speaks fluent Japanese.
Yeah,
and
right.
that's his job.
Well, yeah, like speaks Japanese for like a robotics company. Or
He's the most powerful weeb.
I've transcended weeb.
So the
So you should be playing with the Japanese version.
I mean,
yeah,
honestly,
it's
I do.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
I should just go back and play this now. Honestly.
yeah. Catch up with us, and we'll have you on again. So yeah, that trailer that we're able to take the nap in, apparently.
Yeah.
The cab of the trailer. Outside of it, there's like
There's a save point in this area too, I think, right? Or is that
I don't think so.
on a different screen? Doesn't matter.
Oh wait, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. Yes, there is.
We must do a deep dive. Hang on, I'm gonna boot up my game and get
Yeah, I
to
was gonna say my
Hannigan.
mistake. But there
it's
is.
actually
I'm
like
sorry.
at the very beginning of
Yeah.
the screen. It's right by like a billboard that says like Shinra.
Oh,
Yeah.
where the guy was laughing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's by the laughing guy, and that's why I was like, oh, if I open my menu, he's gonna fuck with me.
Oh, that
like I
makes
won't be
sense,
able
yeah.
to like.
He'll fucking pull
this
a
is a honey
Yuffie on
pot.
you.
This is a fucking honey pot, just like Yuffie.
Entrapment.
So that like trailer has a like a hole cut out of it and like some stairs leading up into
Yeah.
it. I guess not a hole cut
This
out.
one-
It probably was designed that way.
Is this a
but-
stair
it's
or
like
is
a
this
side
ramp?
hatch.
This looks like a ramp, so
yeah.
this is not ableist. So this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike Gold Saucer,
yeah.
which fucked that place.
Unlike everything
everything else in this game.
Yeah,
like-
this is actually accessible.
to get to June.
Well, because I think everyone just probably breaks their legs when they get hurled down the hole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
jeez. But there's 2 guys outside, and they ask if you're new and say you need to go pay your respects to Mr. Coates.
Respect.
Is that Cody's Coates?
It's pronounced Kuates. I don't know.
What do you say?
I say Coates.
I would
but
say Coates,
I think
yeah.
of like Steve Coates from the Flyers organization. Old Coatesy. Am I right, guys? Am I right, folks?
Hold on.
You're losing them.
Here goes Alex again. So
Coats. Coats.
Why are you mad at me? I'm right.
I literally looked up. There's a YouTube channel called Pronounce Say, how to pronounce coats
that's awesome.
with an E.
So yeah, you go meet this guy, and he asks you if you're going up. And
Yeah.
like, that's kind of like, and multiple prisoners refer to going up as the act of being able to get back into the gold saucer from the prison.
I have confirmed that it's Kootsu. Like, it's Coates.
Okay, cool. And he says
He's wearing a nice coat too.
he is, yeah,
He's wearing a fresh suit.
yeah. So he's got like a gray. He's got gray hair and like a buzz cut. No, not buzz cut.
He
a buzz
looks like
top.
he would be a character in like Vice City.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
very
sure, yeah.
80s sort of like
a
coke
neon
dealer.
green kind of suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like an open
Cool
shirt.
chain.
Like,
Yeah,
do you think like in like reality, this coat would be covered in dust or immaculate?
I want to say immaculate.
I mean, yeah, immaculate, but they are in the prison. But I
Yeah.
guess he has special privileges, though.
Yeah.
I wonder what his deal.
I mean, he can
is.
decide
Yeah,
who
like,
leaves.
I like
Right.
the
Or
image
wait,
of him
no,
in an
no.
expensive suit, but it's just covered in like just dirt and dust. 'cause
That's
it's down
yeah,
here.
yeah. I was almost thinking of that,
But it's almost like intimidating if he was just spotless.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, he has the guards outside.
Yeah.
And he has protection here.
Yeah,
so
so
he's
he-
obviously apart from the other prisoners.
It's probably
he-
polyester.
He kind of gives off the vibe that he is the boss that everyone's talking about, but when you talk to him long enough, he will say like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's not as easy as you think," and like, of course, you'll need to get the boss's permission.
Right, and he tells you that the only way to get back up is by winning the chocobo races.
Yeah.
But you can't do that unless you have the boss's permission. So he
Right.
sends you off to see the boss. So there's one more house.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the only like house that's fully standing.
Yeah.
Like that has like a roof and everything in this area. And when we go into it, we get our next story scene.
Yep.
Right? So we walk in and
And you can tell this is actually from
Yeah.
the
from
flashback.
from the last episode, yeah.
Oh yeah, oh my god, I did not put
this
that
is
together.
Like, this is straight up.
Holy shit, this is
Post-
Corel,
Yeah.
This is where you see Barrett in the flashback
talking to Dyne and
talking
trying
to Dyne.
with the headman.
See-
Was that his name?
Village Headman.
Village Headman,
Yeah, you're right. This is the house that they were trying to convince Dyne that they should go with Shinra in.
Yep.
Yeah. So this
So
is the area.
this is what Barrett's hometown was. And
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one
It's
of
a
the best
prison
things.
now.
Yep.
One of the best things that this game does is they introduce a location when you don't have all the context.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they bring you back to that location when you have more knowledge.
Yeah.
And
And
it
you have
like
complete agency over
yeah,
it.
yeah, and it like they do it over and over and over in this game.
Yeah,
This is
they
a
really
perfect
do,
example.
yeah.
You walk in, you see that couch, and you're just like, "Fuck."
Well, I didn't because I'm an idiot. But
Well, you're a pro gamer. You
but
come in.
the listeners got to hear me be fucking stunned by that, like as it happened. I was like, "Oh my god!" I've played this game multiple times. And,
I think this was my first. Like I'm like paying ultra attention or trying to when I'm
Yeah.
like taking notes and stuff. So I think this is the first time that I realized that.
Yeah.
Because usually I kind of just burn through this part to get to like the meaty bits of it and
Yeah.
stuff. Like this is the veggies of the thing with like dissecting dialogue and shit.
Right.
But like. This is the like I always used to think that Coral was just like the like
North Coral.
North Coral.
And
which-
why was it called North? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a separate place. Yeah. I didn't know,
it's
but
like
yeah,
they
I agree
just
with you.
yeah they all like they couldn't live here anymore and like
Yeah.
Gold Saucer.
Yeah, where have I heard of that? Like, you know, a powerful organization leveling a poor town and then rebuilding like a shittier version that everyone has to go live in, and then you know,
Skyrocketing the prices and
yeah,
It's a fantasy trope. It doesn't.
yeah, okay, it's an anime.
It's an
trope.
anime
It's an anime trope. It doesn't happen in real life.
the choral renewal.
Oh,
thank God anime isn't real.
Oh no, oh, Lord. Yeah. All of that.
Audiences
you
are
think you
urged-
want cat girls, but it comes with it comes with this. Yeah.
Audiences are urged to look up urban renewal and learn about your own history.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But yeah, so we meet Barrett in here, and he's angry with us. He didn't want us to come here, you know.
Yeah, he says, "Didn't I tell you not to come here?"
and he fucking fires at us.
Yeah, he points his gun.
He points his gun and just starts unloading.
Yeah, like Kate Sith starts talking too. He's like, "Oh, we just want to talk. You'll understand if you hear us out." And he just fucking points a gun
which
right
like
at them.
man, if only he would have shot Kate Sith.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. So
blows
the
and everyone just like claps.
so like the party also like tenses up because they're like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
And it turns out all the bullets went into the couch.
Yep.
On the back, and there was somebody behind the couch the whole time.
Yep.
So the whole time we've been there's been somebody behind the couch watching and waiting for us, and so. Again, assuming they were going to do something bad to us and harmful to us.
Yep.
But we'll never know because they're dead as shit
They're
now.
super dead.
They're super dead.
I mean, it tracks that
they were just
going to
pop out and give us a hug, but
He was probably just a squatter.
yeah, just some,
Oh,
some squatter was
no.
sitting back there
Oh,
and Barrett
no.
has killed him.
When you walk in, like, is Barrett talking to you or is he talking to the person behind the couch?
I think he's talking to you.
Okay.
He
I took it as he's talking to us.
Yeah, and I think that later on as well, like he's very much like this has nothing to do with you.
Okay.
This is some shit I need to do.
Yeah. And without going to like, because there's a lot of text here,
Mm-hmm.
and so without like going over every single line individually, I do think we should pick the first couple lines because I think they're pretty good. Where Barrett says, "I didn't want to get any of you involved," and Eris just goes, "Hey, that's Cloud's line.
I
That's
love
what he always
that.
says."
Yeah, and she makes fun of him.
I know. She says, "It's too dangerous. I can't let you get involved." Blah blah blah. It's so
Real
good. Again, I say it every time, but I love Eris so
Oh yeah.
much. Just fucking-
Also, the rest of your team runs in.
yeah. It's everybody else runs into. Yeah. So they ask for more explanation from Barrett, right? Like we're still at the point where we think Barrett has killed all these people. Red asks.
He
asks
asked the
him
$1 million
point blank.
question.
Yeah. In his text is, "I heard that the murders at the battle arena were done by a man with a gun arm. Was that you?"
Mm-hmm.
And we start getting more information about Barrett's past, right? And he says there was another man with a gun arm, or with a gun grafted onto his arm, right?
Oh, shit.
The reveal. The reveal, right? And so he goes into another flashback, and we get
There is
It was 4
yeah,
It was 4 years ago.
yeah. And so he's on his way
Cut
back
to
from
elevated train tracks.
So the Mako reactor is being built by Shinra at this point in the flashback,
Yeah.
right? The Corel reactor, and he and Dyne are on their way back to town.
This is when they left for a few days, which he said in the last episode.
Right, yeah. And fucking Village Headman makes an appearance.
Yeah,
He
this part's really sad.
Yeah,
Village Headman.
Yeah, Village Headman comes in and says, "Barrett, Dyne, quick! The village is being attacked. It's Shinra soldiers."
Yeah.
Right. So it happened while they were away, which like the two guys who seem to be more in charge and responsible for the town and
Yeah.
probably tougher than everybody else. Of course, they wait till they're away and then fire on the people. And like we saw, they were shot, the town was burned down.
Yeah, they actually they go up to the cliffside, and then there's like a quick cut where you see Coral, and it's just like they're from like right at the entrance of the Mako reactor, and they're just standing on the cliff, and you just see Coral completely engulfed in flames.
I think importantly so, because this is before the Mako reactor became functioning. I think importantly so, it is full of greenery. There's trees everywhere
Yeah.
at this point.
That's the kicker. Like, because it's a forest. It's like a jungle.
Yeah, it's a jungle down there. Yeah, absolutely. And so again, every time we get these Mako reactors, we always see that they're killing all the plant life.
This is the absolute end result.
Yeah, it's just absolute desolation of the land.
We've seen Midgar, we've seen other places and stuff, but this is like everything has just been sapped.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Like, my initial thought was, they burned down the forest and now it's a desert. But like that makes way more sense. That it was like the unmitigated, just like Mako reactors eventually sucked all life from this place.
Yeah, because like we've seen it in several other places. Like you said, like you were saying in one of the episodes, Carl, that like the area for like a mile around Midgar is just black.
Yep.
It's just like pitch black, right? And every time we see one, there's always just like no plant life around it. Like even in areas where it's not so big and
even
not so powerful.
Even getting to Coral, like we were talking about last week, which Corey wouldn't know anything about.
Because
he's a fake friend who
trees.
didn't listen to the episode that we dropped 2 days ago.
Do you mean the two trees that are on the way?
Yeah.
On the path up, there's a couple like trees,
beautiful trees with the sun shining through,
and
then
right before you crest the hill to where the Mako reactor is, it's
just
dead.
Yeah,
dead trees. Yeah. So
you're a fake friend, just like Dyne. I'm just kidding.
Who's that? Who's Dyne?
Who's Dyne?
Oh wait, yeah. Well, we talked about it.
We talked about him. You would know if you listened to the last episode.
I'm dying to find out.
So
then it goes back to Village
and
Headman. On the train tracks leading towards Coral, and a soldier runs up behind him with his gun drawn, and he says, "Barrett, Dyne, protect the village," and gets shot.
Dude, they should shoot the Village Headman.
He starts running towards the reactor to try and escape, and they just shoot him in the back.
Police shooting people running away from them. Again, not something that happens.
It's a good thing this is Final Fantasy,
right?
Not Final Reality.
Yeah, I know. So we also see Scarlet comes in.
Yeah.
Right. So again, like I was saying, like last time, this is kind of the first. This scene, this situation is like where Scarlet gets her backstory. Right. Of who she is and what she does.
Yeah. And the soldiers start shooting at Dyne and Barrett, and Dyne takes off.
So they've run to like a
But Barrett's like doing this crazy dance.
Dude, the little dance that he does when he's trying to dodge the bullets. He's like doing this like little jig and they're firing at his feet.
Yeah, it's so good. And I was actually playing this part on my TV, and you can actually see like little bullets under his feet. And I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But they kind of run away a little bit onto like a little cliffside path.
Yeah.
And like to give some context for because what's getting ready to happen.
I think we talked about this path last week, and we're like,
that it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, we're like, oh, it doesn't go anywhere. It's weird.
Yeah, and this is, I guess, is what it's for. Is the scene. But it's thin, right? It's like only a couple feet wide. Like on the left of Barrett is the cliff wall, and then on the right is just a drop, like a large drop, as we'll see in a second here. But it's just like into a chasm, right?
Yeah.
And they're shooting at Barrett and Dyne, and Scarlet's like, "Look, you can shoot all day, and you'll never hit them like that." So
with aim like that,
yeah. So
gave
she
me
like
stormtrooper vibes.
Yeah, right. So she like hits one of the fucking soldiers and knocks him off the fucking railway or whatever,
and he falls.
Yeah, and she grabs his gun and is laughing.
Does she grab his gun? Because it looks like he has it, and I think it looks like she's just pointing. I
thought she was firing.
I went back and forth. It looks like she's kind of like pointing. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Originally, I wrote down that she grabs his gun, but if you look at him laying on the ground, I think he is holding his gun still.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
we'll just say she has a gun.
So dodging the bullets, Dyne ends up falling off the side of the cliff. Right? Well, not yet, right? Because he hangs on, right?
Yeah,
like he's hanging on to the cliff, and Barrett grabs his hand.
Yeah,
and so now he's just dangling by Barrett's hand. Right?
Barrett's holding him with his right hand. And
holding him with his right hand.
And and Dyne is holding on with his left hand.
Right, and so he's the only thing holding him over this cliff now, right? Like Dyne has no hands on the cliff or anything like that.
Yeah, and Barrett says like, "Listen to me. You're coming back to the village. You hear? Like." And Dyne says, yeah, I'm not letting go. Or
Yeah.
I ain't letting go.
And he says Eleanor and Marlene, they're all waiting on
Yeah,
us.
you're
right?
coming back. Everyone's waiting for you. Eleanor, Marlene, they're waiting on us. And then it shows the little cutscene of their 3 soldiers and Scarlet.
Yeah.
And they're opening fire, and they just show the trail of bullets, and it goes right through both of their hands.
Yeah, because they're holding hands, and it hits both of their arms, right?
And Dyne just falls.
And he falls into that fucking chasm. I also got a great screenshot of Dyne falling into the chasm where I took the screenshot as his character
Nice.
model was halfway through the camera. So
Whoops.
yeah, I had that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dyne falls into this fucking chasm, right? And it's like just a black like pit, right?
Yeah, it's just a drop.
Yeah.
Some Winter Soldier vibes going on.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
He picked up on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, what does he say? Like,
Bucky.
I'm with you till the end of the line, Dyne.
Oh, I laughed like I
Sad.
know it. I haven't seen
Dyne.
it.
I'm with you till the end of the dine.
Alive!
So
Who the hell is Dyne?
So we cut back.
Shit.
Sorry.
Continue.
So we cut back to the present day. We're in that house, right? And Barrett explains, from then on, I couldn't use my right arm anymore.
He says, I was depressed for a while.
Yeah,
Big
and
mood.
then I threw away my artificial arm and got this gun grafted in, which I love the idea that he had a normal
Yeah.
like grafted arm with like hands and stuff, and he's like, no, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck
you know
that.
what would be more useful?
No, it'd be
than
way cooler.
Yeah, yeah. You know what would
Way
be
more
more useful than an
cyberpunk.
artificial arm that could maybe even fire a gun? Just a gun. It would just cut out the middleman.
For those keeping score at home, body modification is a solid cyberpunk trope.
Yeah.
Don't ever let someone tell you Final Fantasy VII is not cyberpunk.
Yeah, no, it's
When
yeah,
cyberpunk
super
is shit.
cyberpunk. Yeah.
What would you all put where your right arm is?
Ooh.
A
I'm going to
functioning
leave you a
hand.
5-star review to let you know.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, leave us a 5-star review and tell us what you would, what cybernetic you would put on your body. Or if you were Barrett, what would you get for your right arm?
You
I
just
would
get,
put a
like,
Game Boy on mine.
Atomic scissors.
Pez dispenser.
a t-shirt cannon.
A fucking hoot.
Yo, a
sporting
a
events.
hot dog cannon.
Oh,
Ooh.
hell yeah. Marshmallow cannon.
The Road Podcaster. What is it?
Yeah, the Roadcaster.
The Roadcaster.
I don't know I forgot what this thing's called.
Whatever reason to
The
record the
Roadcaster
podcast.
It's all
Pro.
behind the scenes here. We're
Give
using
us
it.
money, Road
Road.
Company.
Road, one of my bands used your iPhone mic to record drums, and it turned out really good, so thank you.
We're using a Roadcaster Pro, everyone.
And then Barrett says, so Barrett's still talking about it. He says he heard the doc who put his arm on say that there was another man who got the same operation.
Yeah, I wonder who that
But
was.
it was his left arm.
Whoa.
And so now we're putting it together. And then Eris says out loud, she's like, oh, Dyne's injury was the same as yours.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eris.
Yeah, I know. And then
Oh, wait,
I
I
like
changed my
what,
answer. It's a ring mod.
yeah, I love it. I like that Tifa says he'll probably join us to fight against Shinra.
I love that.
I love that positivity of like, yeah, he's going to join us.
Yeah,
and
and-
then Barrett immediately,
He's like, wouldn't bet on it.
yep.
And he says he's got to apologize to him before
He says,
Which is crazy
He
because-
says, I gotta apologize.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's just crazy because Barrett is the guy who usually assumes that everyone like will join him.
like
Yeah,
even
right, yeah.
Sephiroth, yeah.
Yeah. And well, I feel like again, it's good character.
Or that might just be podcast headcanon. I'm not sure.
I mean, no, he does.
No.
He really does several times be like, yeah. But yeah, you're right. We do make a joke like that.
Dyne, how do you feel if we could change your name to Jesse?
You can be new Dyne.
And then I like Cloud's final response to Barrett being like, yo, this is something I have to go deal with.
Yeah.
Is Cloud saying, well, do whatever you want. ... Is that what you want to hear? Well, I can't let you do it. We need your help to save the
I
planet.
love that. Such a good moment.
I know. It's so good. And like, because it's like, it doesn't patronize or like
Yeah.
infantilize Barrett. He's like, look, you're a badass. We have to have your badassery. We can't let you do this alone. Like, because we can't accomplish what we're trying to do without you.
Yeah, and also
So,
just like great character development of Cloud, who's like now fully all in to save the planet. Like,
Yeah, right.
Like
yeah,
before
yeah.
it was just like, oh no,
He
I'm in
didn't
it for the
care.
money. Oh, I don't care about any of this. Oh,
Yeah.
and then like, oh, I'm in it to find Sephiroth, and now he's just like, nope, we're fucking saving the planet.
Yep,
Like
yep.
the planet's in danger if Sephiroth's around.
Yeah. And everybody kind of gives him a little line, right, of like pep talk.
Yeah.
And,
Tifa says, "Weren't you going to save the planet?" And he says, "Zoinks!
Zoinks, Tifa. Yeah.
You ought to know by now.
Yeah.
You ought to know."
You ought to know.
I think that was the original Japanese version of it, right?
Oh yeah.
So we make a party,
Zoinks.
and we can't we have to have Barrett in our party. So it's going to be Cloud, Barrett, and somebody else. Who did everybody put in their party?
Give you one guess who I picked.
Tifa.
Yes.
Yuffie.
Nice.
I also put Yuffie in it.
Really?
I feel like I didn't get enough time with her. Yeah.
Well, you know,
That's
I
fair.
didn't really put her in a lot during my last playthrough, so I was
also,
like,
I'm glad I did because over the desert there's a few enemies that may benefit from throwing shit.
Oh, really?
The Cactuar.
Oh,
okay.
God damn it. I was going to ask about that, too.
Let's
Let's talk about it. Let's go. Okay, so...
I didn't even run into any Cactuar. I made note that they
I'm
were-
Wandering the
going to
desert,
go
I should
ahead
say.
and
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and branch us into that part. So the area we couldn't go to before, to the north, because we couldn't go there without Barrett, is now accessible to us, and it is the wide-ass desert. So we can run around in the desert, or there's a direction. If we just go to the right, we can go right to where we need to go.
which is what I did, stupidly.
Yeah, but you can actually wander around in the desert.
Yeah, I
and
remember that,
if
but-
you go left or right or whatever, and you don't go toward Dyne, even if you go to the next screen and immediately double back, you're in the middle of the desert. You can't walk right back to
Yeah.
the gate. And there are these fucking giant sandworms out there. and
Oh yeah,
it's
I was
nuts.
excited to talk about that and make Dune references.
They're called landworms.
Mako must flow.
Sorry, yeah.
Fear is the
Mako
mind
must
killer.
flow. That's so awesome.
He who controls the Mako controls the universe.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to make a bit like I want to make a more relevant joke, but it's awful spoilers.
yeah, we can't do it yet. Did you fight the? Oh, you didn't fight the sandworms.
No, I
because
didn't
you
even
go
find
into the
them.
desert.
The landworm.
I remember being
I'm
like,
sorry,
cool.
the land
I'm
worm.
excited to talk about Cactuars. I'm excited to talk about
The
Is it
worms.
do you say
Muad
Cactuar?
Dyne.
I say Cactuar.
Yeah, let's talk about it. How do you say it?
I say Cactuar, but reading it, I was like, it's got to be Cactuar.
What's it in
I say it with a
Japanese?
soft
Yeah,
"w," and
show
I
me.
just go
Show me.
Cactuar. Like,
Cactuar. Will you want to share with the rest of the class?
Sapotenda.
Sapotenda. What does that mean?
I have no idea. Holy shit.
well, anyway,
I'm gonna look it up.
you
It
were gonna
sounds
look
really
up-
good. Well, it says
Yeah,
sapo,
give me
which
them
makes it sound
tendies.
like a sapien almost, so it's like a tender sapien.
Oh, I was thinking like tree sap because it's a
Yeah.
cactus.
Oh, and it's all in katakana, so I think. Well, I wonder if like are mythical creatures also in katakana, even if they're not referencing a foreign word.
When it comes to like nerd media, it's like all rules are out the window.
Fair
Wait
just,
a
just a real
second.
swamp shoot.
Yeah, it's
There's
just
a
real swamp shit.
Cactuar and there's a Cactuar. E and an A, they're separate enemies.
Weird.
In
Like-
this one, maybe
In 7 there are.
in 7. Yeah,
That's really weird. But I encountered one and it drove me freaking crazy.
because you can't hit it.
You can't hit it
You
with
can't
the
fucking
melee.
hit it.
You can't hit it with melee attacks. You have to hit it with either magic or grenades and stuff.
When I hit it with magic, it just did 0 damage.
Oh. Well, maybe
What magic did you use?
I used thunder and fire.
Damn.
I used
Probably need ice.
You probably
I
do.
used like Shock 3 or something like that.
Oh, right.
I was cheating.
Shock 3. I think you mean Bolt 3.
Bolt 3.
You sick fuck.
Anyway, I threw some
Get his
grenades and
ass.
some right arms at it, which did plenty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would probably be a good idea.
I just found a Kotaku thumbnail that says a closer look at Cactuar's ass. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
What?
This is
What?
from
There you
Final
go.
Fantasy, the new Final one, right?
Yo, the cactus that like the Cactuar looks like in Japanese is called saboten.
okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, see.
I see.
No, I'm saying something different.
I can't see it.
It's a deviant art. What the fuck is rule
All right, turn it over. Turn
What
it
is
over. I
rule
gotta see it.
63?
Uh-oh. What does that mean?
Well, there you go.
Oh, it's because it has boobs?
They
Is it-
better do that in the remake.
I think Rule 63 is like gender bent.
Oh, okay.
You're like,
Wait,
we'll like
but
put a
like,
link. Like,
I don't think-
we'll put a link in the show description to this person's DeviantArt page.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna tweet it right
A
now. with
lewd
just
Cactuar.
I'm gonna tweet it from the account right now with just no like frame of no context at all, and people like in 2 weeks when they hear this, they'll be like,
well,
"Oh,
and
fuck."
people will fucking absolutely eat us alive for not crediting the artist.
Computer, show me
True.
lewd Cactuar.
Yeah, we should
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. Just ask Siri or Google to show you nude Cactuar, and it should come up.
4DEE.
Maybe some of the 43D33s.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a few things that I think we should just slap on the Instagram. But, not that.
yeah. I was gonna say, and that's one of them. I'll tell you what. Since we
I'll-
can't
I'll-
use their art, I'll draw one myself and put it up.
No, I mean I'll
I'll crop it
find
so it's
the-
just the feet.
I'll credit the artist.
All right, there you go.
This is art.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hentai.
Mom, it's art.
Wait, have you guys seen the Office
not
or whatever?
hentai.
Oh
yeah,
the
yeah.
deleted scene where Stanley canonically
He
loves
spills
hentai.
all that hentai and he's like, it's called hentai.
Okay,
It's
for
art.
those listening in the future, this is posted on August 11th.
Cloud's birthday. Happy birthday, Cloud.
Happy birthday.
I got
birthday,
you a
Cloud.
big busty cactuar.
Cactuar.
the busty Cactuarian maid.
So,
I'm tempted to read
Crossing all my fucking nerd references.
Wow,
this is the worst part of this podcast.
We are blowing through. This is going to be editing nightmare.
Yeah, sorry.
I know.
Sorry.
This is terrible.
So it's Sapotenda or
Sabo,
Sabotenda.
it's Sabotenda.
But there's two different versions, so I'm saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the two different enemies in Final Fantasy VII. There's the one with the B and the one with the P.
Whoa.
Or if it's English, it's the one with the E or one with an A.
it's just the 10 away.
Is
I
the one
wonder
with
why.
the P, is it like more tree-like and less cactus-like? Because maybe they're playing on sap like you were suggesting.
Man.
Oh, maybe one's smaller, one's bigger. I don't know.
God damn. It's been 5 years.
This is a great podcast, guys.
It's been 5 years since Robin
Real
Williams died.
linguistics hours.
And I was playing Final Fantasy VIII in a laundromat when I got the news about Robin Williams.
I was in a drive-thru, working the drive-thru at Starbucks.
Dang.
Dang, I'd rather be a laundromat.
Yeah, so basically, long story short, there's no canon pronunciation for Cactuar. But Cactuar is the canon pronunciation. I've
Thanks for
decided
bringing us
now.
back on
Okay,
track.
good. I'm not going to say Cactuar
And if you
anymore.
walk enough screens, left or right, up or down,
Okay, starting over. We
So this week we landed
yeah, this
gold
week we're talking about
saucer.
the gold saucer. Yeah, so
It's a time of civil war.
If you get lost in the desert, just keep going.
yeah, no, okay, that all right. Corey's punching us back in with that.
Right
If
up.
you get lost in the desert, just keep going, and eventually a wagon pulled by a chocobo will show up, and it's the same model that took Tifa to the
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Corneo's mansion. Yes,
And
I
it
did
just
not
br-
encounter that.
That just brings you back to the prison, right?
yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. And he
So-
just asks you if you want to ride, which you can turn down. You can just be like, nah, and
Nah,
just
I'm
wander around
cool.
for a while. Yeah.
So you just keep going straight?
You can
any
lead
direction.
a chocobo to water.
Oh, because I just kept going straight and I ended up on just the outskirts, which is just
No, he
like a
specifically
canyon.
says you have to keep going northeast.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Which is funny. It makes sense because they said southwest.
Well, to see the boss.
Oh, right. Yeah, what am I thinking?
Southwest see the boss, northeast for the thing. Okay, it makes sense. Anyway, yeah, so that's about all that's
But see,
out
in the real
desert.
world, you go northeast to see the boss. Because
That's-
he's from New
that's
Jersey.
That's fucked.
I'm
We're
sorry.
in Philadelphia right now.
All right.
Also, can we talk about how Bruce Springsteen just
Implying
steals working
everyone
class
Nope,
here
we
is
women?
from
can't.
New
We
Jersey.
can't do it. We're fucking 55 minutes into this
Oh my
half of the
God.
thing. You go the other direction, you get to where Dyne is. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
There's
So
a
you get to the
junkyard.
screen before him, which is a car junkyard. Just a bunch of
Real practice. Praxis.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna take it the other way that like this is like what waste man hath wrought, but like I guess you could also see like, hey, we made public transportation good enough that we didn't need all
take.
these cars.
Hot take. This is good, actually.
But yeah, there's just a bunch of like scrapped like fucking Mad Max as fuck cars.
Yeah.
And I got attacked by a Deathclaw here.
Yeah, there's a thing that looks like the Fallout Deathclaw.
Well, I mean, it's called a Deathclaw. It does not look like a Deathclaw
Oh.
from Fallout. It looks like a damn spider.
Well, it has the
skeleton.
big, scary arms and horns. Oh, I guess it is. You're right. Well, whatever. It looks like the face hugger from Aliens more of anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the bull motor is another thing that you can fight, which if you haven't gotten Match or Magic, you can get from the bull motor.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Wait, what's a bull motor?
I got it right here.
Oh, that little dude.
Yeah, that little fella. That little nice fella. It's like a little, it's a wheel with spikes on it. And
It
like,
looks like a baby, whatever that boss was on Midgar Highway.
yeah. The big,
Oh,
the
yeah,
steamroller dude or whatever.
Aw.
Rodorora! Sorry. So we go up to the next screen, which is where we meet Dyne, and this screen is fucking dope looking.
Yeah, it's real
like this is like
metal.
this could be like final boss room cool. Like
Yeah.
it is awesome.
This is the prison graveyard.
I got
yeah.
serious vibes from when you fight God, what's his name from Chrono Trigger?
Magus. When you
Yeah,
fight
when
him
you
on
fight
the
Magus,
cape.
like like
Magus,
it's
yeah.
same. Well, I don't know how to pronounce it,
No, it's probably Magus.
but like it's the same kind of thing. Like 1-on-1, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like so this area, right? It is there's a house on the right that's totally
Completely
bombed out.
destroyed, yeah.
Yeah, we just see like the remnants of the bottom of the walls, just ruins, right? And then there's a chasm again, like this like Dyne fell
just
into
like
a chasm.
darkness, like the abyss.
Yeah,
Chasm.
it's just black. We don't even see the other side of it. It's just past this point is just black, right?
And there's two
graves.
two makeshift graves that
I think
just have crosses.
Yeah, and there's fucking the crosses are like pointing out over
Very
the
end
chasm.
of Evangelion.
Dude, it's like symbolic as fuck. It's amazing. And
Yeah.
there's like light streaming in from somewhere, but like the room itself looks darker. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It looks like it's almost nighttime with like fucking maybe like super cloudy, and there's just like some light streaming
Yeah.
in. And the light's like over top of the graves, you know? So it's wild.
real
man.
good.
And Dyne's there like, hey, do you mind? I'm trying to like shoot my album cover here.
Yeah. But so these two graves, so I think it's important to point out that one is smaller and one's larger, right? So I
Yeah.
think that I know who these graves are for.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it doesn't say explicitly, but it seems like this like Dyne comes here to be alone,
Right.
and it's his
And
wife
we're-
Eleanor.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I was like, don't give it away because we haven't learned yet.
Okay.
Have we?
No,
No, we haven't learned yet. Okay.
this is I think where you put it together.
Yeah, this is what we put together. Okay. So Barrett walks up. Dyne, is that you? And Dyne just says, oh, now there's a voice I haven't heard in years. And immediately Barrett...
General Kenobi.
Yeah. So Barrett launches into an apology. You know,
Yep.
he's like, I always thought I'd see you again someday. I knew you were alive. He obviously wants to fix this.
Yeah.
You know, and Dyne just shoots him.
Straight up.
Just straight up shoots him in the chest. And like, I don't know what Dyne's packing, but Barrett just takes it. And doesn't even like.
Barrett's just like ... question mark.
Yeah, right.
You got those stupid bolts from Bullet Town.
Yeah. And
I mean, the party's been through some shit. I think they can take a few bullets.
Yeah, they've gotten shot by soldiers. A
right,
bunch.
right.
Yeah.
Dyne says he can hear a voice, and he says, "Oh, that's Eleanor's voice, his wife or his dead wife, begging me not to hate your rotten guts. That's why I never hunted you down."
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, this whole time, because, like, again, you know, we remember from the last episode that Barrett was the one that convinced Dyne that we should work with Shinra. You know, Shinra is going to bring the Mako reactor to town. We'll be able to have a better life. Dyne was against it, and then Shinra killed everyone. And so Dyne has just harbored this.
See what
hate
happens
against
when
them.
you reach across the aisle?
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, so he's harbored this fucking hate for Barrett for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Right after his family's died, he's lost his arm.
He's lost everything. He lost his town. He's now living as like the boss of like a prison community that's just on the dregs of society.
Right. So it's been rough times
Yeah.
for Dyne. And
Barrett says like, I know I was stupid. I'm not asking you to forgive me, but
Yeah.
what are you doing in a place like this?
yeah, he says, why would you drag people who aren't involved in it? Because he
Yeah.
shot. Because we put it together here. I mean, which we've already kind of put it together, but Dyne was who shot all the people in the gold saucer.
Yeah.
Right. Which again has an interesting implication that he's the boss of the prison, but he's also able to get into
Yeah.
gold saucer. So I thought that was kind of interesting. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know, we kind of assume that he has maybe free reign to go up and down.
Well, yeah, I mean, he gives people permission to go and ride the chocobos. So
Right.
like they have access to it.
Which is real fucked up because, you know, it means like he's working hand in hand with Shinra now. Like, in a
Yeah,
way.
in a weird
he's
way,
the prison
yeah.
guard.
But I mean, like,
Yeah.
and obviously he feels like he doesn't have any
Well, he even
life agency
he
here.
even talks about it a bit about like his crazy fucking manifesto that he goes off on, where he like Barrett says like you were saying, like why do you want to kill people who aren't even involved? And he's like, why the hell do you care? You think the dead understand whys? Is hearing Shinra's excuses going to make people in Coral understand anything? I don't care about reasons.
Yeah. And next line, so good.
Yeah, it says, all they give us is artillery and stupid excuses. What's left is a world of despair and emptiness.
Oh boy,
Yep.
read that, hit me hard.
Imperialism comes home, baby.
Ooh, man, that shit just hits different.
Yeah.
And he says, "Okay, do you want to know why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I want to destroy everything." And so he's like hell bent on this.
Yeah, he's like, the people in this city, the city itself, the whole world.
I have seen this city's true face.
I'm the Joker.
And then
There's also an enemy earlier on that you can find called the Joker, where they're just like these really cool fucking looking like evil clown things riding like surfboarding in the air on like
I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
dude, they're outside North Coral.
yeah outside
The
of
reason I know that is because I grind
wow.
outside of North Coral.
Yeah.
I had no
So
idea.
I'm
That's
very
awesome.
familiar with the enemies there.
yeah they're really cool. They're,
Oh wait, yeah, they're like surfing on a card.
yeah they're
Yeah,
surfing
that's
on like
right,
a
when,
yeah,
you,
like-
when you kill them, they like curl up and twist into nothing.
Yeah,
It's really
okay,
cool.
I know what you're
Super
talking about.
good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Dyne is saying like,
Important line here, right?
Yeah.
Like where he says, "I have nothing left in this world." Corel, Eleanor, or Marlene. And is that the first time we hear that?
yeah.
I think it is. I think.
Well,
that's
no,
the-
I think they had mentioned it before.
Oh,
I could-
have they?
I could be wrong.
Okay, well, I don't know, yeah. Which, if we didn't know already, like, obviously, we know that Barrett. Well, actually, we don't know.
No, this is where it all comes.
This is where. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Yeah, I think this is the first time we hear this.
I think in like the flashback last week they said Marlene and Eleanor, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, but they didn't. They didn't explicitly say it. Yeah. So
this is one of those like moments too when you first play the game and Marlene is like a very like she's got pale skin.
Yeah,
and Barrett is obviously black,
right?
And you're like, that's weird, and you just kind of move on, like you're like, adopted, maybe,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
And then like when it comes here, you're like, oh,
yeah. So Marlene is Dyne's daughter.
Yeah, and Barrett says, Dyne, Marlene's still alive.
Right.
And he's like listening and like questioning, and Barrett just says, I went back into town. I thought she was gone for sure. I wandered around town for a while. That's when I found Marlene.
Yeah.
And Dyne just still isn't talking.
Yeah. And I think that's important that like
he's just like ...
To me, I think that those two graves are supposed to be for Eleanor and Marlene.
Yeah, he's already put them to rest. He's been for like 4 years now.
He's assumed that
and he's
Marlene's
done
dead.
so many horrible things because he's like, fuck it, I got nothing left to live for. Like,
right, not knowing that
everything
he has
was
a
taken
daughter
from
still
me,
alive. Right.
Yeah, and he says, and Barrett says that she's in Midgar, and let's go see her together, all right?
Yep.
And then it gets even fucking darker. If you don't
even
think that...
fucking darker. So Dyne says, "Oh, so she's alive. All right then, Barrett. I guess you and me got to fight."
Yep.
And Barrett's like, "What?" And then, man, Dyne, what the fuck, homie? He goes, "Eleanor's all by herself. I have to take Marlene to her." And so like, oh fuck, man. He's talking about
hot take.
You're gonna get past Barrett, get past us, and then go kill his own daughter.
Yeah.
So that
they can be with
quote unquote be together or whatever. Yeah.
Real
fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. And Dyne, or not Dyne, Barrett immediately has nothing to do. Are you crazy? He's what the fuck are you talking about?
He's like, oh, Marlene wants to see her mom, don't she?
Yeah, and then he just starts unloading that gun into Barrett. He's just boom, boom, shooting it, and Barrett's like, "Oh, stop it! I can't die right. I can't die right now. Like, come on, it's 3 p.m. I don't die till later in the night."
It's like, I don't know if anyone's watched Garth Marenghi, but there's this great bit where the one guy like comes out of nowhere as like a sort of Deus Ex Machina part where he like you thought he was like dead like way before in the episode, and it comes out of nowhere and they're like, oh, "We thought you were dead," and he goes, "I was just too busy staying alive."
So he's saying, "Stop it! I don't want to fight you." Oh! When he says, "I don't want to die yet," Dyne says, "Well, my life's been over ever since then."
Yeah.
And then Cloud is like, because, Cloud and, for me, Yuffie are just standing there watching this happen. Mm-hmm. And Cloud's like, Barrett, and he's like ready to jump in. Cloud's like, I'm going to fuck this dude up. I'm going to kill this motherfucker. Yeah. And Barrett stops him, and he's like, you stay out of it. This is my problem.
Just Dark Souls kick him off the cliff.
yeah, just give him the old Lautrec.
Yeah, you get the ring of favor and protection.
And a battle ensues, right?
Yeah.
And so it's one-on-one, Barrett versus Dyne, two dudes with gun arms just shooting the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
except I didn't shoot at all. I just threw magic the whole time.
Yeah.
So
that's a good strat. He's got like 1200 HP, and he does a lot of damage. Like, I had to heal a couple of times.
Yeah,
I had
me
to
too.
use like a high potion.
Because I knew what was going on. I put a restore magic on Barrett. And it wasn't too bad at that point. But yeah, I mean, he does some damage to you. I mean, the thing is, he's fast. I thought sometimes he would get 2 moves and before I'd get 1 move. Yeah. So I'd have to like be like, look, am I more than 1 hit? Like, I need to be like 2 or 3 hits away from death. Yeah. To feel safe to attack him.
It's really cool because he's kind of like almost the like anti-Yuffie. Like, he has enough HP and stuff, and his attacks are high. Like, you can see he would have been such a good party member to have. You know? Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's almost implied that you're just like as if you made different choices in the game, you could have had him. And I know you can't.
Yeah, like there would have been a moment where it's like, Dyne, you son of a bitch. And then with their gun arms. I need to like Photoshop that.
But I mean, that also shows like a really good like that's again like the overarching plot, like the recurring theme of the game is that like Shinra ruins lives. You know what I mean? Like it's beyond repair here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So like in any other situation, it could have been fine. Yep. You know what I mean? And like it's not like Shinra like has directly been like, haha, we'll pit Dyne versus Barrett or whatever. It's just the effect.
It's
just a byproduct.
They just leave misery in their wake.
Right.
You know, they accumulate resources and only distribute them to the people who support their power.
Yeah.
And everyone else just suffers.
Which doesn't happen in real life. Also.
Exactly. I think it's okay. I think it's also important to not like this is a very tragic story. It's very upsetting. It's very like it hits way too close to home given recent current events that have happened, and it fucking sucks. But it's also like you can't just like give Dyne any kind of pass, because I mean, like we've talked in past episodes about like the gray area of what Avalanche is doing, and you know what they're, you know, like they're killing innocent people, but they also like are doing it for this like reason of like people who are working at the company that's destroying the world and stuff. And like this is like Barrett's reaction to all of this misery that he got is not to like, he's not like, I'm gonna destroy everything. He's like, I need to save everything. And I will do what I have to do to save everything.
Because we know from the flashback that he was married as well. He lost his wife in the fire as well.
What's her name? Marla?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Someone correct me.
So these are two very similar people taking the same misery and working on it in two very different ways.
And that's exactly the point. Like they're almost set up as foil. I mean, they are set up as foils for each other. Like they even have similar clothing. Like in this battle, they're almost wearing the same clothes.
And they're like similar builds too. Like Dyne's a big dude.
Yeah, and like it's crazy. Like it's like looking in a mirror, almost like a funhouse mirror. Like this could have been Barrett's future,
right? Yeah.
You know, if he was in Dyne's shoes, probably Dyne would have been Barrett, and the other way around.
Yeah.
So it's really well executed. It's like one of the best moments in the game.
This is like the most it's like maybe the most tragic scene in the game.
It's
because
really,
again,
really tough.
Dyne is a potential ally. I mean, like he has every reason to hate Shinra. He could come with us, but he's chosen not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Myrna, by the way.
Myrna. Okay, his wife's name Myrna. Yeah. So you beat Dyne. And Dyne orders you to get back.
Yeah. He also, when you beat him, he
takes a knee.
He does the thing where he uses a move like as a
really?
Yeah, or it did for me. Like I saw his HP go to 0.
I think he did.
Molotov cocktail, which is like his limit break, I guess.
You're
and he can use that throughout the battle. Like he used it a couple times. On me without that.
That's where all the blue shit comes out of him.
Yeah. It's called Molotov cocktail, but it's him just shooting
blue lasers. Yeah. So he kind of like
he takes a knee,
steps back and backs up against part of that wall, that bombed out house, right? And he gives a little monologue here where he says he didn't lose his arm. He didn't just lose his arm back then, and he lost something irreplaceable. I don't know where it's gone. And Barrett's dialogue is so good. He just says like, Dyne, I don't know either, man. Like, is this the only way that we can resolve this?
Yeah.
And like, oh God, man, it's so fucking tragic, dude.
Yeah, even after all that, Barrett's like, we can still like, we can still make this right. We can still do something.
Yeah.
And he says, I told you, I want to destroy everything.
Yeah.
Everything. This crazy world. Even me.
Yeah.
And Barrett says, and what about Marlene? What's going to happen to her?
Yeah, and he says, well, think about it, Barrett. How old was Marlene back then? Even if I did go see her, she wouldn't even know me. And what's more, my hands are too stained to carry her anymore. Yeah. And like, oh, fuck, man.
Dude.
Fuck, dude.
I shouldn't have replaced my hand with a gun.
What I mean is just it'll be very difficult.
I should have replaced this hand with a time machine.
But he gives Barrett a pendant here, right?
Yeah.
And says, give this pendant to Marlene. It was Eleanor's, my wife's.
My wife's
a memento.
My wife.
I'm sorry.
And then he says, so Marlene's already 4. Don't you ever make her cry. And then he starts limping and walking toward the chasm edge. And Barrett just goes, Dyne? Like wondering what he's doing. And then as soon as he understands what's happening, Barrett starts running at him. And Dyne just stands up, faces Barrett, and just falls backward over the chasm. And he is dead.
Real tears in the rain moment there.
Yeah, very, yeah.
And before he does that, he says, Barrett, don't you ever make her cry.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
I did.
Okay.
But it's okay, yeah.
Alex, you can go ahead and cut that.
No. Well, I mean, we can, but yeah. I was going to say, it's fine. I mean, that's a very important thing that he says, yeah. And Dyne says, Barrett says, Dyne, me and you were the same. My hands ain't any cleaner. I shouldn't be able to carry Marlene either. And he just fucking screams, and we kind of
raises his hands to the
sky. And we
sky.
pan up, and we see the sky now, and it looks like clouds are kind of getting out of the way.
Yeah, more sunlight's coming in.
Yeah. So, where do you want to drop? Here, or do you want to do this little next scene where we talk? Because I'll go ahead and we'll just talk about this next scene real quick.
Yeah.
We flash out of there. We're now standing in Mr. Coates' office again, and we're telling him, okay, we want. Barrett says,
Yeah.
I want to go up, and he goes, well, I told you got to get permission from the boss, and he says, Dyne's got his reasons
And
and
can't
can't speak, so I got this instead. And like Mr. Coates says, yeah, bull. But he sees that he has the pendant.
Yeah.
And Barrett repeats, I want to go up. And now Mr. Coates is just like, oh shit, right, okay. And he asks point blank, did you kill Dyne? You must have, or you would
Technically,
never
no.
be holding that.
Technically, no.
And
It was a suicide.
well, and another like characterization of Dyne here is when Mr. Coates says, so Dyne's dead. Maybe now this place will calm down a little. So like Dyne was a bad influence even on a prison.
Yeah.
Like he was making shit wrong. But
Now we can have a good prison.
yeah, but this
Those totally exist.
Now we can operate this funnel of like slave labor to the races.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah. But I think there's a good back and forth here between Coates and Barrett where he says Dyne didn't care who anybody was. He's like, oh, maybe it'll calm down that he's dead. He didn't care who anybody was. And Barrett just fucking snaps at him and is like, what the hell do you know? You know? And then Coates again is just like, oh shit, I don't know nothing.
I don't know anything.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
And so Cloud says, will you get us out of here? And Coates says, you guys are mistaken. I already told you there's only one way to get out of here. That's to win the chocobo race up there in the gold saucer. And I think that's where we should cut it.
Yeah, I agree.
Is right in the middle of that conversation.
And only one racer can go up at a time.
Yeah. So I wonder who that will be.
Barrett also says, say what?
I love that, like, when he's like, I want to go up, he does the same, like, goofy fist
The
bump.
fist
Yeah,
bump. Yeah.
Just like rude
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
in the elevator.
Can you
Yeah.
press up, please?
Yeah.
You press up, please.
So, yeah, you guys got anything else to say about this section?
No.
Other than it's fucking incredibly tragic. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
I think that this is, like, a great argument for the logic that, like, the problem wasn't that, like, they couldn't save him. The problem was that the fucked up shit happened to him.
right in the first
Like,
place. Yeah.
the way you prevent people from being destructive and wanting to kill people is not by removing the ability.
Right,
It's
right.
about preventing the thing that fucks up their life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that, like, I really like the fact that this whole arc, like, well, I guess the arc starts technically in North Corel, but I like that our arc today starts in fucking Nero's palace. You know, it starts in the Golden Saucer.
Yeah.
Like an amusement park. Like we're
Well, and
wealthy.
it's such like it's like you enter through North Coral and you get exposed to like the abject poverty that Shinra causes,
Right.
And then you go right into the heart of like just
The
like
decadence.
the decadent
Yeah.
orgasm of like just
Yeah,
Gold
yeah.
Saucer, and then you plummet down into something even worse than North Coral right after. Like,
Yeah.
and you really get that shock of like what it's like for the people experiencing like
Yeah.
the inequality that Shinra's
And
brought.
like the ignorance of like individuals playing games in the Gold
Yeah.
Saucer, literally surrounded by the worst kinds of poverty we've seen the whole
Yeah.
game, just fucking shooting hoops. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game is really fun, though. Super Dunk is kick-ass.
Oh, did you guys
Yeah.
play the Moogle game?
Yeah.
I
think
didn't
we'll talk
this
about
time.
that
Yeah,
next-
we're gonna have
I
an
don't- I don't
episode eventually where we
understand
talk
that.
about the.
I need to grind
Gold
that.
Saucer.
I need to get
More
that Moogle
Yeah.
girlfriend. That
Yeah.
Yeah, like-
so hey, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like it's a really shitty game, but like I think there's something great you get out of it. So like you just kind of have to do it on every playthrough or something. I can't remember what it is.
I don't remember. Yeah, I'm not sure what it'll be. Yeah, we have anything else to say, Alex?
Not really.
All right, good.
Thanks for being on, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks for
absolutely.
having me.
Yeah.
You have anything you want to plug while you have the stage on our very popular, obviously.
Yeah,
Podcast.
cars are spewing noxious gas that's literally killing us and making the planet inhospitable and uninhabitable. And I know that everyone needs their car to get around, but it's because our world has been built in a way that you have to have a car. So I want you to think about that and try to just consider walking or biking or riding public transit like whenever you can, and also consider like funding your local transit and making your city better so that you don't need a car that's destroying the planet to get around.
I would like to point out
That we need a car for
that
the next episode.
well, no, not that. But on Friday, my car blew up, and I no longer have one as of
Like,
Friday.
I said it as kind of a joke in the beginning with the 30-second blast, but like when you have someone who's poor and they don't live in a convenient part of their metro where
Yeah.
there's like good public transit, they need the car to get to work.
Yes.
But they can't afford the car, so they take debt and they buy a very expensive piece of like capital that doesn't appreciate in value. It loses money.
Yes.
and they have to maintain that in order to get to the place that sustains them, which is basically indentured servitude if you think about it that way. Like it's slavery with extra steps. They have to go into debt to earn money so they can continue to support the lifestyle that keeps them in debt.
So I'm from Kentucky where, like when I had a bad car and it blew up or whatever, and it was like, shit, I need to find a friend who doesn't mind me using their car or something because there's no options. You can't take a bus. But, I will say this. Our next episode is going to be from the Chocobo races, which we're getting ready to do, up through Gungaga.
Save gas, ride a chocobo.
Save gas, ride a chocobo. But yeah, we're going to be going up through Gungaga where we're gonna hear a name.
Yeah.
We're going to hear a name for the first time. I love it. I love it so much. We hear about a character. Ooh, excited. But
It's Donald Duck finally.
Yep. That's where he comes in. Yeah, we good?
Yeah, we're good. Thanks to DJ Cutman for the theme music. Featured music sprinkled throughout. It's by Nobuo Uematsu. Check the show notes for a link to that. Subscribe, rate, review. Give us 5 stars. Tell you
what would you graft on your arm?
Yeah, what would you graph on your arm?
What does Sephiroth smell like?
And how you pronounce Aerith.
Yeah.
/Aerith.
And Cactuar.
Right.
Cactuar.
Cactuar.
And as a last thing to say, happy birthday, Cloud.
Happy birthday, Cloud. And also just be good to one another. Like, the world is a very dark place, and this is, like, we joked a lot, but also, like, dark things going on in the world. So just, do what you can to make other people's days less shitty.
And when you meet people who are strong and have their head in the right place, consider asking them to join Avalanche.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Pause for a second.
Yes.
I'm gonna adjust this mic. God damn it!
Thank you.
I was afraid it's driving me crazy.
I was
I'm
afraid
gonna
to touch it with.
I gotta wait till we can pause so I can actually move this without disturbing everyone. And just I want to hear more Corey.
Goddamn right.
I'll give you all you want.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
ooh.
That was actually quite nice.
It's tipping. Hold on. Sorry.
No.
It's nice and
I
soft.
said no.
Oh, no.
So if you
You
steal,
got your own mic now, so you better use it.
if you steal from the landworms, you get the spice melange.
Cool.
All right, ready?
Yeah,
I understood that reference.
Punching back in 3, 2, come.